What's up, Larry? How you doing, buddy? First one in. I'm charging on my phone. What's up, Wild? What's up, Turtle Poop? M. Lizer, Quick Wrench. Peter Savinsky. How you doing? We got 20 people in here. Uh, Dwayne V. It's going slow. The camera's a little dirty, it looks like. Oh, yeah, that's better. That's definitely better. Not sure what KB is. Where are you from, Wild? Must be new to the channel. What's up, Doc? How you doing? No snow in my neck of the woods yet, buddy. Shh, don't even say that stuff. Buying off the truck, I meant. I don't know what KB Tools is. I've never heard of KB. I am blowing through the water tonight. KB Tools. Have I bought from KB Tools before? No, I haven't. Not somebody I deal with, so. Oh, I see. They're like a used tool dealer. They're not very cheap. They're selling like they're selling used stuff for basically retail. A beat up snap on dead blow hammer for $79. Yeah. Um I don't really I honestly I don't deal with them. I don't, so I'd say in my opinion, just from a little bit that I just looked at, not interested. I wouldn't deal with them. They look like they're out of they look like they're out of touch with reality. I think you got a better shot with going to eBay, my friend. What's up? 7 6 starship. Ag Tech 25. Or Ag Tech 45. My gosh. We got Cole Winters. Richard Morrison. How you doing, buddy? Zachary Larson, what up? Just got home from the woods. No luck, but I hope you're doing well. I'm doing well. Jim Bob. Let's all stop feeding the Chinese Communist Party. Buy made in the USA. God bless America. Woo! I'll drink to that. I'll drink to that. We got Cole Winters, Ben Farms. What's up? Bill Beckett. Where did AgTech? There he is. When are the shirts coming up for sale? As soon as I can find somebody that's going to make decent, I'll tell you what, that's a hell of a process, my friend. That is a hell of a process. Without a doubt. My back is freaking killing me tonight. Give me 1 second here. Get all set up here. Yeah. Let me give me some stuff going on here. Let me give you a little bit of. Penny Club. We got to give a shout out to the Penny Club members. President and CEO, Derelick Appleick. Then we have the Vice President, Rude Dude. We have the Secretary, John Peach. We have the Treasurer, Cass Holio. And then we have the co-conspirator, Danny O'Shea. Yes, those are the guys that are the chief officers of the Penny Club. Quick shout out to them. They follow me around everywhere. They're literally my biggest fans. I am just super. They entertain me. Quick shout out to those guys. So, let's see here. What's up, Larry? Peter? Leaves are completely gone. Let's stop feeding. Just got home. They used to sell Snap on Mac, all that. Right on. Also love that hat. Yeah. Got the old ear flapper out tonight. I just made a video and got it out just in time before I got the old live stream fired up here. Oh, that's much nicer on my back. Back is killing me today. It's been a long week. It's been a long week. I got the heater going over here. Maybe that'll help me out. How's Henry doing? Well, he's down here. He's got to have his surgery. Still waiting. It's expensive surgery. Like I said, it is what it is. Everything's expensive, man. Nothing you can do. That's the point of topic here, I guess, tonight. Saving your money and buying only essential tools. What's up, Brailsford? How you doing? I've been doing all right. I could have been better if I wouldn't have had to spend the weekend in the hospital last weekend. Had my birthday on Tuesday. It was nice and relaxing. Had a little dinner with the family. Hung out, had some fun. Not really. When you're as young as I am, you don't have birthdays like I do. CRMO sockets, yeah, Chromollies. Turtle Poop with a super chat, $4.99. Speaking of turtle poop, look at this. You guys are gonna have to wait to see this on a video. This is pretty cool. Turtle Poop sent me some oil. This is very special oil. Trust me, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. What's up, Biggie Fitz? How you doing, Biggie? Good evening. Hope everyone is well. Hello, Everyday Fleet Tech. What's up, A. Murray? How you doing, A. Murray? Hey, Bill Beckett. Bucks for pups. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Biggie Fitz, give a couple big thumbs up. Glad to hear. Stephen Lett. Stephen Letts, my friend. I got to get this thing. Stephen Letts. Should just go out and swing this thing a couple times right now. I still haven't swung it. I hate to even mess this up. You know what I mean? I hate to even mess this up. Paul Bunyan style. He's got a little. I got to put some oil on this. We got some right here. Let's oil this bad boy up. She's just thirsty. Let's oil this bad boy up. You got to oil your axes, boys. Yeah. Give her a little oil. Just give her a little oil. Thank you for coming on, Stephen, and reminding me. Look at that. You got to give your axe a little oil every now and then. Watched a little Buck and Billy Ray and old Nick Pixel. They were having a shindig at the Paul Bunyan deal, and got me all thinking about starting to split some wood. I'd like to burn some wood. I wish I had the time to set up a stove. I'm not going to this winter, but you know, it really is a fine thing to do. But Stephen Letts made me this here axe, and it is a fine unit. We just got it oiled up. I'm glad I remember that. It was getting just a small rust spot on it, but just a gem of an axe. I mean, she is. I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, we can shave with it. We can shave with it. Good old Stephen Letts. Let's do it. Oh yeah, look at that! Look at that shine on there, boys. One of my favorite tools, guys. I can't. Wax works pretty well. I can't tell you. I should have put some wax on it. I just had some oil sitting right here. I thought that'd be better, but I can't tell you like how much you guys get. Like I talk about prized possessions and tools and stuff like that, and a lot of people think that something expensive means more to me. I've got scan tools that are worth $1,000. I don't know. I don't know what the value of this axe is monetarily, but I can tell you the monetary value of somebody, a friend who made this on his channel. You guys want to see the video? Go over to Stephen Lett's channel and watch the video of him doing this. Burned in both sides. I love to watch the guy make axes. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'd like to see him make more axes. I like watching that kind of stuff. I wished I was more skilled in this, but he did a fantastic job burning this thing in. I think I watched the video a couple times. But just look at that. Burned in the handle, the end on it. Look at the grain on it. And it's just such a nice unit. I'm kind of just like, I don't want to hurt it because it means more to me than using it. I'd rather buy a cheap axe now than use this axe. I keep it all safe and everything, but guys, that's what a tool means to me. You know, that's what a good tool means to me is when somebody makes that or does something. There's people that send me stuff, and it means more to me than you can't put a price on it. You can't put a price on it. That's all I'm saying, my friends. So it's just super awesome. When I put it in my hands, I just feel, you know, like Henry is just doing Henry things. What do you want, buddy? Come on. Get over here and lay down. I think some people want to say hi to you. Come here. Let me help. Let me lift you up here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh. So if you guys want to see, here's what the problem is with Henry. I know this is going to be a little bit graphic, but on his backside here, he has a big hernia, and he got it twisted up and got some problems. So yeah, just yeah. There you go, buddy. I know. I know. You're getting right in my teeth. You're getting right in my teeth. You can kind of see the lump protruding back here. But yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure, my little feller. You want to go outside and go potty? You want to hurry up and come back. So, anyways, yeah, that's the problem. But he went down on me a couple weeks ago. I had to take him to the ER. It's a long story. It's a long story, man. You know. And at the end of the day, you just you can't put a price on my dog. Can't put a price on a tool for a good friend. Making you. There's just a lot of things that people don't understand about me. I'm just not a materialistic person, essentially. You know, hard to find good friends, good animals. Hard to find good people in this world nowadays. Let me tell you. Why aren't you charging? Damn thing, anyways. Yeah, it's going to be about, well, it's going to be, after all said and done, it's going to be about $9,000. So, I didn't expect it to happen, but what are you going to do? I gotta take care of my dog. So it definitely hurts the old tool buying deal, but I have a pile of stuff that I've been meaning to show for a very long time. So don't you sweat. We have a ton of tool content coming. Luckily, I'd already bought a toolbox that I'm waiting on, so that's kind of, you know, that's kind of a good thing. But it is what it is. Let's get back into the chat here. I was wondering where he was going with that. He said, speaking of turtle poop. Come on, Henry. I can smell people burning campfires out here. Yeah, turtle poop was a good guess. I had no idea. Yeah, he was. He was a great, very good guess. His name's Matt, too, by the way. I call him Turtle Poop. I told you guys that. I can't. Harder for me to not call you by your names. Vanishing Fox. Good to see you, brother. What's going on? Thank you for the $9.99 super chat. Definitely good to see you in here, brother. I was thinking about you the other day. I was like, man, I hadn't seen Vanishing Fox for a long time. So I appreciate you coming in, buddy. Henry, come on, boy. I smell that wood burning. Leaves, hickory, oak, maple, walnut. Yeah, all of it. Smells good outside right now. That fall, I mean, it's still nice out. 70 degrees in the end of October. Unreal, fellas. Paul Bunyan, absolutely. Vanishing Fox, thank you very much. Nothing runs like a deer. Yes, sir. Boiled linseed for the handle. Yep. What's up, buddy? The Penny Club is for the Penny Club members. There's six people. You don't want to be in the Penny Club. Wax works pretty well. Yes, it is badass. I've broken more hickory handles than I can count. Don't use it, CP. Get yourself a nice leather sheet. Yeah. There are some things money can't discount. Absolutely. Yeah. Henry is he's in yeah. I need to make you leverage. That would be awesome, man. Yep. Thank you guys. Henry boy. Yep. Glad to see Henry's in good spirits. He's got some good medication. That's what's keeping him in good spirits. Come on, lay down here, buddy. Hopefully, BMs don't become a problem for him in the meantime. Yeah, you're right. He's got an ear infection too that's bad. So he's been having a lot of health problems. Whoops. Glad to see Henry's in good spirits. Yep. Hey, Raging Cajun, what's going on, brother man? How you doing? Hopefully you're staying healthy out there, trucking it up. Hello, everyone in the chat. Anthony Ruby, what's going on? Mid Atlantic, how you doing? Scott's Copters, what's going on? Yep, dogs. Hello, Raging. What's up, Luis Casienda? Like my truck's red and my tractor's green. I don't care about my truck colors really normally, but I do like my tractor's red. Be honest with that. Speaking of hard to find good people, I seen Indeed from Midas in Omaha offering some flat rate money at the end of the state. We do not perform drug testing or background checks. Unbelievable. Yeah, we're really lowering our standards. I can tell you that. Richard Morrison, that's not good. That's not good, but we're definitely into that realm right now. I tell you what, it is what it is. What's up, everyone? Went to a garage sale. I'm a Mac dealer. House yesterday. That's awesome, Austin. Hopefully you picked up some good stuff. Hello, Raging. Hello, Raging Mid-Atlantic. What's up, Henry 3R? What's up, buddy? If you got a tape handy, measure that blade length of the axe head if you don't mind. Yeah. I got a tape measure real handy, buddy. Whoa. 8 inches. That is 8 inches. Right about 8 inches at the tip. Just the tip. Of course, that probably looks backwards for you, but it's 8 inches. Tip to nose. Love this axe. I want to get a couple more nice ones, but I'll tell you what, watching Buckin and Steven make these things, watching those guys have fun doing that stuff. It's neat. I'm not a logger guy, and I don't want to get into doing that stuff because that's their thing. But I did grow up chopping wood, burning wood. Grew up on the farm, so I've been around it all my life. Really grew to hate it. Really don't like it, but it is what it is. Tim Windsor, what's up, brother? No way I'd put $85K in tools in a shop with guys that aren't checked. I agree, Richard. You're not joking. Driving the miles and making the money. Do you need to be certified in Iowa? I don't know what that means. Certified lunatic? You have to explain that to me. Certified mechanic? You don't have to be a certified mechanic. Just spent $2K on my cat, worth every penny. Dogs and cats. Yeah, I do agree with that. What's up, Bill? And the blade. Oh, and the blade width. Oh shit. I'm not good at this. I gotta tell you. Just a little over 4.5. No, right at 4.5. 4.5. 4.5. 4.5 inches. Should cut the mustard. I wish I would have learned more skills like that. I got a guy that makes holsters and whatnot. I just keep that that tape you had on there. Oh, 54 people in the chat. Hello, Tim, Larry. Oh, there's dudes. The tip sunk the Titanic. Dudes with wrenches, sorry, man. I got your message. I've been meaning to text you back, but I just haven't had time. I mean, obviously, I'm putting out videos late. Just been a runaround, so I apologize, buddy. If you want to come on tonight, let me know. I'll shoot you a link. We can have a rap session. Nope, you don't have to be certified in Iowa. So that's interesting. Yeah, you don't have to be certified in Iowa. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Woo! What's up, Frosty? Awesome. Thanks, bud. Steven, if you want to come on for a little bit, you can. I'll shoot you a message. Ain't been on for a while. Tim Windsor, what's up? I make those Kydex holsters too. Nice. I'm certified. I'm certifiably dangerous. That's all I'm certified about. I'm dangerous. Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. I understand. I'm editing videos right now. Yeah. So anyways, guys, we're going to talk about saving your money, buying all the essential tools. If you guys, I don't know how many of you guys have been watching my channel long enough for paying attention, but I've talked about this before in my live streams, in my videos. You know, I bought a bunch of tools a couple years ago. Now, a couple people were ragging on me about doing, oh, you're spending all this money on tools and blah, 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 blah. Well, guess who's laughing now? This guy. This guy's laughing because some of the tools that I bought 2 years ago have inflated almost 20% in price. What's that mean? That means I don't have to buy those tools at a 20%. Well, they actually probably came up 30 and 40%. So yeah, I mean, it is something that is going to become a hot topic. And I know all the time people complain about price, whether it's a couple bucks, whatnot. I mean, quite frankly, if you're complaining about a couple bucks, I think you're probably in a bad spot in life anyways. That's just my honest opinion. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. If you're in, I mean, when I'm looking at something and I'm seeing a couple dollars difference, I really don't care too much about that. Especially when I'm dealing with something buying from JDTco. It is what it is. I'm an ASC, Master ASC, level 1 automatic. I'm not, I don't have any major ASC certifications anymore. In fact, none of mine are actually active. I just had ASC certification in drivetrain and HVAC, air conditioning, all that stuff. So, yeah. What's up, Gran Turismo fan? How you doing, buddy? Same here, Quick Wrench. He is in Michigan. Yep. Steven and Quick Wrench are in Michigan. It's called Hedge Against Inflation. Yep. Do it all the time with oil. Dwayne V, that's exactly it. I hedged against tools and tool companies over the last couple years, and I tried to explain that, and I just don't know, why. I mean, there's a lot of people that are complaining I mean, if you're not buying anything and you're complaining just to complain, I mean, there's a lot of people. I get it. You're upset. You're in a bad way. You can't take out your problems on anybody else because you're having a tough time. I've had a tough time recently, and if I went around complaining about the fact, I mean, I've got doctor's bills coming out my nose. I got screwed over from the doctors this weekend. If you guys know, I spent a weekend in the hospital, and I was super nice to the nurse, and I said, look, I understand these things happen. I could have probably sued them, but I don't feel like that's right. They gave me the wrong medication. My patient tab flipped over on their screen. They gave me the wrong medication and caused me to go Whoopee! It wasn't nothing serious major, but I definitely was not in a good shape. I was not in good shape. I had to go into the hospital. I took my meds for the procedure I was going to go in for, and ended up in the hospital on Sunday. Saturday, early Sunday morning. Woke up and I was not in good shape. So the nurse was like, I accidentally flipped the page when I told you to take those meds, and I completely, it was my fault, blah, blah, blah. Then I got to the hospital. They couldn't get my heart rate under control. I was racing, and it was a bad deal. It was a bad deal. But luckily, I stayed calm. And that's what matters in a situation like that. So, but yeah, it was a mess. It was a mess. So, not good. Not good. I'm working on. I start working with a physical trainer here on 2 weeks. So I'm planning on losing weight, and I'm focusing on the positive things in the future. So, when it comes to saving money, obviously I got to save money now because I got to pay these doctor bills. I got unplanned things that came up that went way past my limit of what I wanted to spend. But that being said, I just know I got to work a little bit harder. I got to put in a little more effort. And guys, there's opportunities out there. I don't know what the economy is going to bring, but I'm definitely a little bit nervous. Inflation rates going up and whatnot. But it's definitely something that we gotta prepare for. So I know there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be saving their money and being stingy, and I have to too. I wish I could help more people out. I've given a lot of tools out to people. I've given a lot of my own money and time. I've given a lot of my time out to people too. That's the one thing I have done that I want to do more of. Because I think is if I'm not able to give money, give more of my time, helping people out. That's what I really would love to do. Is somebody can buy their parts for their cars, and I can fix their cars and help them out, and they're in a needing way. I'll feel good about doing that because I won't be able to afford to pay for stuff, but it's definitely something that I'm able to do. So, not trying to get all nimbly bimbly here, but I got searched. Horrible freight's going to SEMA. That ought to be interesting. Flat rate, not buying tools with debt right now. Yeah. I've said it a couple weeks ago that I've said it. If you've watched my videos, I've been saying it for the last couple of months when I've been doing videos that I'm not really interested in spending all that much money on tools. I've said it. The tool buying is going down this year. I planned on saving. This was my plan. Okay, spend 30 grand on tools, and then save. The thing is buy cheap, buy them cheap, buy them deep. And that was my plan from the get go. I've been trying to give good advice to people and helping people out since I started on this. It's not the time, and now is not necessarily the time. If you find a good deal and it's something you need, you definitely need to jump on it. Now, if you notice, there's not been a lot of new tool stuff that's been out. Not a bunch of new tools have been released, and that's why manufacturing's been down. There's a lot of reasons. Yeah, Michigan wants more money from us. Well, price to performance matters. When crappy warranties of today, you're just better off getting correct budget tools. I don't know what that is. Don't know exactly. I don't know if I understand that. Is that a picture of a cat? QD? QD? I don't know, QD. $13 a quart for mobile at one local O'Reilly's. Yeah. Yeah. Torque that like button. Woo! Jimmy, what's up? You want to join in on the chat? Not good to have him. No, not good. Oh, hell yeah, Everyday Fleet Tech. That's awesome. So mine's November 7th. So yeah, I'll be going 3 days a week. And I have to go to a special, I have to go to a person that's special in heart monitoring because I have to have my ticker observed. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. I'm going to do it. Vanishing Fox. I'm going to do it just to prove people wrong. if nothing else. But I'm doing it for myself mostly. Elbows deep in a bus engine base. Cummins pressure release valve tore. Threads out of a fuel reel. F my life. Shopcat, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Appreciate you stopping by, even though you're working. I always appreciate you taking your time. You are the man. You're such a good dude. I appreciate you a lot. One of these days we'll have you on the channel. You get a chance. I've been doing a lot more shopping between my tool supplies, so I can bring absolutely. You got to now. Bring only the best deals that you possibly can, and you're going to be good to go. Spend 30K, then save 30K. Nope, you're not wrong. Quick in here, dudes with wrenches, Mad Atlantic, all the cool guys. What's up, brother? Jimmy, Biggie, sup? Rooster R, who makes the crow's foot holder that you can see in the last video to the top left? That was Mechanics Time Saver. It's actually a wrench holder that I kind of modified for holding crow's foot. I liked it. Definitely a good deal. More geared to shop tools, puller sets, and things like that. Dude, you're gonna like the new Lyle tool that came out when I show it. You're gonna like that. A $600 half-inch drill driver is not worth $600 when a $200 one with the same warranty can do the job. Sure. CP, that hat is mint. I like it. This is my dad's. Hey, listen, fellas. This ain't just any hat. You see that? This is an original K product made in the USA. This is a real deal. You know this hat is $300 on eBay? If you want to buy this, look at this thing. Who's the best looking YouTuber right now? Huh? Huh? What's up with that, huh? Huh? Yes, sir. Right on. Let me know, Steven. You want me to shoot you a message? I will. Raging. Raging, if you want to join me, let me know. You can come on too. Shade Tree Toolman, what's up? How you doing? Downloading files, and then I'll be editing. All right. I'll shoot you. I remember you got my email. 91 people in the chat. Let me shoot some emails out here. Let me send some emails out. I'm just gonna send some people out some stuff. If I got your gig, I'll shoot you out a link. I'm just gonna. You don't have to come on if you don't want to come on. I'm just gonna shoot you out links. I'm just gonna shoot out links and random links. Let people come on. Whoever comes on, comes on. You know what I'm saying? Try to get a few different people in the chat. I think we got, there he is. Oh, my Lanta. That shit, that meds, they messed up my back this week. I'm telling you, fellas, my back has been a mess all week long. See here. Sorry, I'm not the Steven. Steven Litz. Had to send him one. I'm just gonna throw out a couple of rando. We'll see what happens. See what goes on here. Yeah, I'm hoping Jimmy comes on. It'll be a good one. Me and Jimmy definitely got a lot to talk about. I used to have that new snappy. I used also have you used the new snappy locking flex head. My dealer in Canada doesn't have them yet. No, I have not. $60 a quart for motocross transmission fluid, Ford dual clutch transmission fluid, and 2011 Ford Focus. Not good. What gets me is the battery technology, and a lot of tools are not improving as fast as I think they can imagine. Graphene batteries, 1/3 the weight, same output. I think cordless tools are overrated, to be honest with you. And quite frankly, I honestly think that if you're in a shop setting, you should not be buying any cordless tools, especially if you're complaining about spending money. You're buying cordless tools, and I hear you complain about money. I'm going to call you out on it. I'm going to tell you that right now, because you have zero business buying anything cordless if you're in a shop. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not even joking you, because you can get everything done with air tools and save a bunch of money. So if you're complaining about the price of something and you're buying a bunch of cordless tools, you're wasting your money. Holy shit, he was fast. Price of something and you're buying a bunch of cordless tools, you're wasting.
What's going on? I got to turn off my YouTube.
Right on. Everybody, we have a celebrity in the house right now.
I got to turn off my YouTube.
When he gets
I'm just talking. Said I'm on the live stream. My wife's like, "What are you doing?"
We have the infamous Jimmy likes to work it. as I dubbed him.
How you guys doing?
Good. I'm doing good. Everybody else in the chat, let's get through here and see. I'd love to see. We already said it. I'd love to see Jimmy as a guest. Hey, Checkmate, what's going on? Back stuff ain't no joke. Yeah, Checkmate. Thanks, buddy. Jimmy making it work. What mic do you use? What's up, Rob?
I use the mic in my laptop.
Yeah, I'm using the same on my.
Yeah, nothing special.
When I make video, do you use a mic when you make videos?
Just the mic that's on my GoPro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I do tool videos, I have a Canon M50 with a better mic on it. I have an external mic on that, but most of the time, just my GoPro.
Wow. Yeah, that's
I put a media mod on it, which helps a little bit.
Yeah, I got the media mod. I don't know if I have that one out here. No, it's in the house, I think.
The media mod, it sounds better from the front than it does from the back.
Yeah, it's a little muffled from the back.
But it is an improvement. So
these things are probably the best mics to have for almost anybody. I've got two of these.
Yeah, that's what I have on my M50. Same thing.
Yeah, Rode mic.
Rode, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
My buddy Nick Pixels, he's the one that turned me on that. He's the camera guru. In fact, it wouldn't have been for him, I wouldn't have had any of this. But he turned me on to anything. I use anything Ulanzi.
Ulanzi.
That's pretty
good.
Yeah, I have zero complaints, honestly. Yeah. They do a great job. They're great stuff, and they're great for the price. They're not bad.
I hate the GoPro, but I like my Canon and the Rode mic.
I'm a big fan of camera of the phone.
I'm start trying to use my cell phone.
You know what's funny is so I was watching Mav. He's got like 2 million subscribers, and he made a comment in the comment section. He said, I don't use GoPros anymore. I just bought another iPhone."
I just got the 14 like
Yeah,
5 days ago.
dude, the camera quality and it's more reliable than a GoPro. To
Yeah,
be honest with you, so
I might try messing with it. I'm just afraid to damage it
it's
because
not
I
good.
have dropped the GoPros hit the ground a few times.
This is my second one. I smoked the screen on this and just got it, but it only cost me $100.
You
Which
got the
one?
warranty.
I had my insurance on it.
Yeah, that's
That
good.
was and that was recommended to me by another YouTuber. He said if you're going to film with your phone, make
That's
sure you get your
yeah.
insurance on it because it's worth every single penny. And dude, I mean, I don't break phones, and I literally broke this one within 3 months of having it.
That's what I'm thinking. It's a little scarier for me because the GoPro, I mean, it glitches a lot, but
Yeah,
it's durable.
yeah, they are
So
durable. The biggest problem I see is everybody talks about, especially you're in Florida where it's getting hot all year long. Like
oh, it gets
they
hot.
overheat. They overheat if you're.
I haven't had it shut off from heat, but I've had it close where it's warm to the touch. You're like, that's going to shut off any second.
Yep. And then Peg, my buddy Peg, Zip Ties and Biosplies, lost his entire week of footage from the uh he
Meltdown
Miles of Mayhem lost the entire week of
from
footage
a
on.
meltdown in the GoPro.
Yep, the GoPro lost all of it. Yeah, he's not the only one. I've seen it happen where guys. There was a couple videos I watched where you see them happen more in the summer because they do that when they get hot. They'll just and then they just lose footage, losing audio. Puddin's Fab Shop, he went through that last year. His GoPro was getting glitchy and it lost audio. Recorded everything and then he had to go through and voice over everything. An hour worth of footage. Dude, talk about a nightmare in editing.
Yeah, I have hours and hours and hours I'd have to voice over if that happened.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I understand there's different levels of people that film and how they film. And I know people that are watching don't usually appreciate that, but the more I've gotten into this,
It's crazy.
and the more I do, the longer it takes. The more I try to do to make them better, the longer it takes. So it's not just a simple, sit down. You watch 15 minutes of video, but it takes 6 times that long to put out a 15-minute video.
Yeah. That's the thing with me. I'm doing it live while I'm at work. I'm not in a studio. So, the GoPro's small, it's discreet. I can kind of put the thing away. So that's kind of why I stick with it so far. But if it ever costs me weeks of footage, that'll be it.
Has anyone don't you have a gear wrench locking flex head ratchet? I just seen this comment come up by 123. Yeah, I thought you had one.
Yeah.
The
I
120.
don't care much for the locking version. I'd rather have the regular solid head version.
Yep.
But it's been for $40 or whatever I think I paid for it. It's been decent. It's not a snap-on ratchet, but it's decent.
The locking flex heads, I think for us guys that have been doing this for a while, are kind of a novelty item. I don't know why they gained so much popularity because I'll be honest with you, I can tell you from experience on one ratchet that I use a lot, which is sitting right here. It's got a lock on it.
Doesn't lock?
Never lock it. I never locked it.
Oh, you don't lock it?
No, I never lock it. It stays unlocked all the time because I don't have a use for. I mean, I know when you first start using your locking flex head ratchets. I know you probably remember. I don't know. Maybe you don't remember, but I remember when I first started using them, I was like a deer, trying to walk for the first time. You're like, oh, slip, But I don't.
Well, it wants to turn and walk off the fastener. If you have too much angle, you only really can go a couple degrees.
Yeah, but
unless it's something that's not very tight.
But you gain dexterity after using them, though.
You get a little better with it.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing about flex head ratchets is that you learn how to use them. You don't try to overpower them. I guess
that's
it's
true.
kind of one of the things. Nobody ever talks about that.
There has been times where I wedge a pry bar in just to hold it on the fastener while I have the handle at an angle.
I've been there and done that before.
Yeah, pretty hard on them. You got to do what you got to do.
Hey, I mean, mechanics have been for years becoming their own engineers. I mean, an engineer screws it up, and a mechanic has to re-engineer it. I mean, we could, and I sure I could get an engineer in here, and he'll go back and forth here. But you've got a couple more days on me in the business than I do, and you do a lot more stuff than I do now because I'm not near as active into the business as I used to be. Doing my mobile.
This is my 41st year as a mechanic. So
have you been a mechanic the whole time?
Yeah, since I tried to be a carpenter at first. My brother was a carpenter, and I kind of like that, but lasted about 6 months. I'm like, this is brutal. I thought being a mechanic would be easier, and I loved cars so much. I didn't even think about the money. So it's just what I wanted to do, and I've found a way to make it the best I could make it, for being a mechanic. So I'm doing pretty well. I'm happy with my choice, but it's been long, man. I'm getting tired.
Yeah, I can understand. I'm not tired yet, but I'm physically just not in shape enough right now. And
the arthritis.
Oh yeah, I do have that. I gotta go in
fist with this hand. I have to unlock this finger.
Yeah, I have that problem too.
Ooh, yeah, you got that.
I got that, and then this is the new one that I got come up on me.
I had one of those. I had surgery for a tendon that got a blister in it.
Oh, really?
Small incision, and they can actually cut it away.
That's what I got to go for next.
It's a huge nuisance.
Yeah, it's terrible. It just started coming up, but this is one of I use this hand a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not left-handed.
You can't see my. Oh, there he is, another dude. What's up?
Yeah.
Doing?
I don't know if you can see the scar.
Turn off my YouTube here.
Hold on, let me throw a layout. Yeah.
Oh.
There you go. Oh, okay. I think you can see it.
The lighting's not too good because it's a little dark in the room.
God, I thought I was the only person that had that. I was kind of concerned because I was like, why they just kept growing and getting bigger and bigger? And
they said it was a tendon that ruptures on your finger.
Really?
So like a tendon just kind of splits and it erupts inside your skin. They actually can cut it.
Yeah.
It wasn't even. It was like one stitch.
Well, I'll tell you, there's two things here. So not only did I got this from this has been. So I'll tell you a quick story on it. First of all, I shot this hand with a .40 caliber.
Oh, that's a whole different ball game, CP.
No, it's actually it's a really cool story. Anyways, so I was at a match and I overhand racked the gun because I had a round that didn't go off or whatnot, and when the round came out, it hit the ejection pin, and the bullet went off, and it hit my hand right here. And if you see, there's a scar up here, and then it came out to the tip of my finger, ripped all the way through here. I could show you pictures, but the best part was one of my good friends, Don, who's like 60-some years old, is standing there. I mean, straight face standing there with his jaw on the ground, and I'm looking at him, and blood just going out of my finger, and I'm like, Don. I was like, take the gun, everything's gonna be fine. And he's like, I'm like, Don, take the gun, it's gonna be fine. I got all my fingers, and I go like this, and it goes, it's got everywhere. And it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt because it numbs your hand when a bullet hit my hand. And so, anyways,
you're kind of in shock a little bit, probably.
Yeah, I went up to the shed, and they were going to call the ambulance, and I was in Kansas City, and I said, "No way, I'm going to the hospital in Kansas City." I said, so I took super glue and started gluing myself back together. I flushed it all out, took super glue, glued it all back together, wrapped it up, and then I was going to finish the match, but my hand was so numb I couldn't feel it because that bullet basically went off in my hand like this.
That's how they do stuff in Iowa, huh?
Well, I was in Missouri at the time, so it was okay. It's legal. Would have got away with that in Iowa.
I just glued myself back together. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I did. Well, dude, they use super glue at the hospital now. That's
Steve Marino's like, what did I come into?
But this wasn't here. So after like 6 months, this went up. It went away. But as I've been wrenching, it came back, and I'm wondering if I haven't been able to get to the. You
could have a ruptured tendon, I bet you.
Yeah, I wonder if that. Well, I had a pry bar in my hand.
That's all it is.
I
could have been a bad glue job.
Huh?
Could have been a bad glue job.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, the surgeon was probably an idiot. So
Oh, you did it. Okay.
the original surgeon was probably an idiot. So what's up, Steve? Good to see you, brother. Appreciate you coming
Yeah.
on.
I was just I was watching this. I was almost at Super Bowl. I was watching the World Series. Kind of getting boring. The Astros were way ahead, so I got a text from you. I said, "Hey, let's go talk about some tools." And you're talking about hands. Check out my finger.
Oh,
You
nice.
see that?
Oh, did you blow?
Did you
Oh,
hammer it?
It's got a pretty good blister. No, I pinched it on a metal handle. Like it just pinched between two pieces of metal. So I got a good blister there. It's pretty nasty.
Ouch. Been there, done that.
Yeah, that was today, so I can barely bend it right now. So I'm probably not going to be doing anything major in the shop this weekend. I'm just gonna maybe I'll edit some videos or do something fun.
There
Could
we
be
go.
worse. Oh,
We got Mr. Letson here tonight. Oh, we got we got two new people.
Steve Reno and Stephen Let's Reno.
Yes. We got two Steves, Steven and Steve Reno. So let me say hi to a couple people. Eric works from Tools. What's up, brother? Long time subscriber right there. Real long time. Been here for a decade. I haven't only been on 3 years. So
Yeah, Larry, I use my non-locking most of the time myself.
then we got Chaka in here with the $2.
Chaka.
Ryobi tools are trash.
Can't miss that. Yeah. Anyways, the hi to anybody else I missed in here. I may have had COPD from chemicals and break. Yeah, dude, this mechanicking is definitely, and so that brings me to the next topic of discussion here about tools. This is because you put out an interesting video. I put out a couple interesting videos about hammers, and you were like, I've been using your hammers I said your knockers. I said you had nice knockers. I said Jimmy has nice knockers. This is what that's what I thought when I seen them. I was like, your knockers look nice, Jimmy. So, but you were talking about bougie mechanics using and the price of tea in China and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But this is a thing that brings me up to it because of things like this. Fatigue,
definitely.
your body, and how much is the tool worth? And I'm curious on your thoughts of this, Jimmy, because I know that you've changed over. You used to be a big hardcore snap-on guy, right? I mean, you had an Epic, and you've gotten tired of paying the price, which I understand. You're getting to the point where you're ready to retire, so buying new tools is not something that's as exciting for you. You're looking towards the future of being done with buying tools, and I don't blame you.
Yeah, I think my dealer was a big factor in that too. He was not giving me the service he probably should have for what it costs.
Uh-huh.
And if I had a better Snap-on dealer, it might not have all went down the way it did. But they got a couple of my videos pulled, and that put it over the edge, made it easy.
Dude, what's up, Everyday Fleet? We got two Sam, two Steves, and one Jimmy.
I got to give Everyday Fleet Tech the #1 beard in the house.
Yep, he definitely does. Look at him, dude.
Absolutely.
Hold on a second. We gotta play homage to the beard.
Step up our beard game.
Wow, brother, dude, that thing is looking crispy. I did not know you were really getting that thing going like that, man.
Oh man, had to grow it out a little bit.
It's a
dude, that is sweet. Steven and Steve, the two Steves are looking like they could go for it. Well, I guess Steven Letts has got the better beard. He's got a full one. Steve Reno's he's got the it's hot in this part of the country, and I don't need to grow any more facial hair.
Tell you what, it's almost November, still 80 degrees in here in Florida, so I'm not getting any I'm not going to have any problem heating the house or anything like that. We got the AC on still. It's probably going to be like that through December. I'm guessing. I don't know.
Yeah,
we're figuring it out as we go.
It's 70 in Iowa, dude. It's going to be 70 this week in Iowa. So if that tells you anything.
That's
in
nice.
November, we call this.
That's not normal.
70's perfect.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get a few more things done because I got a few more weeks outside getting some stuff done. That's what I'm really trying to do. Some stuff around the house. It's hard to make videos and get time in. Man, these videos just get to be. I don't remember them being so hard to make. I can tell you that much. But we got off topic, but I want to go back to Jimmy talking, and he said his Snap-on dealer, and I got to tell you, the one thing that I agree with Jimmy right off the bat is Snap-on dealers are not consistent, and one Snap-on dealer will take care of a person better than another dealer. That's much like it is in life. I'll be honest with you, because that's playing politics, and that's exactly. And if you have a guy in the shop, I've seen this happen. There's 5 of us here on the stream, and CP is getting free stuff, every time he gets on the truck, and Jimmy gets a little bit, Steve gets a little less, and Chad gets a little less, and Steven Letts gets even a little less. Eventually, you're going to piss off some people.
Oh yeah.
And they always base it off of how much you buy. But honestly, at the end of the day, I found as a Mac dealer, when I was a dealer, that theory was not a good theory to do.
Yep. It's got to be how well you pay and that kind of thing. You keep up with your tab.
Yeah.
Not how big it is.
Well, I mean, I've always said I had some customers would spend $30 a week, and that's all they'd pay me. But they would always buy and pay $30 a week.
Yep.
And those were some of my best customers. And I rewarded those guys all the time. I was like, dude, you'd never have a bill with me. You buy 30, 50, sometimes $100 worth of stuff. Your bill is never large. Having a large bill doesn't, and making a payment doesn't always justify you to get that stuff. But that is definitely the tough, thing about tool trucks is that inconsistencies in there.
The Snap-on dealer that was giving me bad service.
I
bought a Snap-on 84-inch Epic, and I bought a hutch for it, and I bought 2 Virus scanners from.
No shit.
And then when the extension cord went bad on my underhood light, he told me it was a month out of warranty.
Oh
wow.
no.
Oh wow, for an extension cord.
I spent over $40,000 on his truck in 3 years.
But you weren't buying from him anymore, so he didn't want to.
The last thing I bought from him before that was the ball joint set for $750, like a month before that cord went out.
No kidding.
That's before I decided to stop supporting Snap-on so much.
Wow.
Yep, that's exactly what happened with me and my Mac guy. Oh yeah, I'm taking care of you. I'm going to take care of you. Oh, you're not buying at $100 every week. And he just disappeared.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we can. I don't know if all of you guys have had that experience, but I've had that experience with almost every tool dealer now. Matco is the guy around here that does that. For the most part, our Matco dealer is the number one guy to rip you off around here, because the Matco guys don't last. Cornwall guys, we don't have enough of them for me to really give an opinion like that. But the Matco guys have definitely soured a bunch of people. Like, you come here and that's maybe why I'm a little salty with them sometimes. But Matco has screwed over more guys. I've actually seen a guy get chased out of the shop. Matco dealer came in, and the one guy just came flying after him with a wrench.
I kicked our Matco guy off the property, told him never to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's every single one of them I've dealt with in the last several years, ever since they've sold off, have become shady as all get out.
Yep.
I've got nothing for that.
Yeah.
So that is an unfortunate thing, because here's the up and down side of this. I understand where, and I definitely have some reservations where I get salty, because I've been a lot less salty about Matco. I'm just more cautious with what I buy from them. But at the end of the day, how does that affect the performance and the cost of their tools per their performance? Do you feel that the bearing that you have on Snap-on weigh more towards you're just not happy with the service you got, or actually the tool performance?
No, the tools are great. I just started to feel like their tools are getting so expensive, and I wanted to know, do I have to have their tools to do my job?
Right.
And then I started to wonder it, and I started to question the prices of the toolboxes costing what a new truck cost.
Yep.
And I said, there's got to be a way I can do my job without these tools, because in my mind, it couldn't be done. So then once they got a video pulled, they claimed that I invaded someone's privacy when I posted that Snap-on tool truck video. It was
Oh,
very awkward, and he didn't tell me to turn the camera off, but he acted kind of weird. So I started making stupid jokes because I was uncomfortable. And then I decided the video was funny and posted it. He complained to YouTube and got the video pulled. It had 10,000 views in like 3 days.
okay. So here's the thing though. If you would have went back after this legal, I got to tell you, this is funny because this happened to another guy I know. Learned a lot about. I wanted to learn a lot about videoing and what you can do. And first of all, if that tool truck comes onto your shop, that is considered your private property. So unless the only way to get that pulled was if he said, got the shop owner to agree with that. So that's kind of interesting that YouTube allowed that to happen, considering the fact that that truck was on your property. It's a mobile tool business.
It happened quick too.
Yeah,
they told me someone said I invaded their privacy, that I needed to edit their faces out. So the next day I started editing the faces, and that night they pulled the video.
Unbelievable.
And then they went after my eBay listings. When I decided to start selling my Snap-on tools, they would get my eBay listings pulled because I said the tools had lifetime warranty, and Snap-on said that's not lifetime warranty when it's used. It's only lifetime warranty if you bought it on a truck new.
Wow. Dude, they
got 4 of my listings pulled on eBay.
Unfreaking believable.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have a good reason to hate. I guess I really didn't understand what was going on there, but wow.
There's a lot of shit.
That's definitely enough reason to be not buying any Snap-on. I guess I didn't understand why you were really, really doing it, but now I apologize. I do understand, and I do sympathize with you for that because it's bullshit. First of all, you paid for the tools, and the guy came to your public place of business, and he was on your guys. He would have had to get the shop owner to pull it, as far as I'm concerned. I
was a really good customer.
Yep.
Dude, I'll tell you what.
Never missed a payment, bought lots of stuff. So
how big is the social media monitoring department at Snap-on? Like, how many people are out there watching eBay and YouTube and all this just to see that you're saying only good things about Big Daddy Snap-on?
Well, Snap-on doesn't pay me a dime. And I mean, that's the thing, is everything that I do. I mean, I obviously do a lot of stuff to show their tools, but if they ever messed with me, I would come down on them. I would do whatever I did. If they would have done that shit to me, I would have definitely went gung ho. I mean, I'm
not really going after them as much as I'm saying, can you do this job without them?
Yeah. No,
you can, obviously. It's almost 2 years now. I've been doing it without a single. Yeah. Well, I shouldn't say that. I have some Snap-on tools still.
Well,
mid-length impact torque sockets I need. Impact half-inch sockets I need.
Being real, we've got a new guy at work. He went to get on the tool truck, and of course, my Snap-on guy tried telling him the very first thing he needed was this brand new toolbox. I walked on to him, no, hell no. Buy these 3 ratchets, get a 1/4 inch, 3/8, half-inch, walk off the truck. From there, I told him, you're just getting into this. Find whatever's closest to you. I don't care if it's Harbor Freight, Napa, or Home Depot. Go there, get your basic hand tools, and then we're going to go from there.
Yeah.
And, realistically, a lot of the stuff that's out there now, I know it's going to piss a lot of fanboys off, but it'll last just as long as your Snap-ons if you use the tool properly.
Yep.
That's the key. A lot of people, they'll use, a 3/8 and snap it when they should have been using a 1/2 inch. No, this tool is junk. No, you just abuse the snot out of it.
Yeah, you can't take semi lug nuts off with a 3/8 drive and an adapter.
Exactly.
So my theory is, and I agree with you guys 100%. And I try to convey this, but I was using Sonic sockets for pretty much since the word go. And they did the job. Did I always like them? No, I didn't. Because when I used other sockets, I was like, I like these better. They come off better. They're just little nuances, me being a tool snob kind of.
I joke about that stuff, but there's no such thing as a tool snob. If you have the ability to do it and that's what you want, that's what you rock.
Definitely.
I don't want people who don't have a real means to afford it to think they have to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's only my point.
I agree. No, I agree. And there's definitely guys that push and say that you should only buy Snap-on. And I understand, like, I want to support USA stuff. I really do.
Absolutely.
Capitalism in America is definitely taken over in a bad way.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I mean, if anybody, I've had guys that try to outsource their shop work to me. You know, hey, will you do this? Will you do this for me? I mean, basically, that's what I do. Is outsourced. You know, I mean, like, you come to my you hire me to do stuff for you because you can't get anybody to work for you.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
And they try to cut my throat in order for them to make more money. And that's why I left working for a shop in the first place, was because of that very reason.
Yeah.
I didn't agree with most shops. I didn't agree with. I had to put up with doing recall, do-over. Or
comebacks, or
comebacks, and it was because the parts were bad.
Oh, we get so many bad parts now.
But the thing is, I told them if I wasn't getting paid on the warranty claim for the comeback, then I wasn't doing the job. Because why should I do a job that's, let's say it's even just changing an alternator. The alternator comes back, and if I have to change that again, why should I not get paid 5/10 or 7/10 on that again? Yep. And most shops do not want to pay you for that, which is
not your fault.
Yes.
They should pay you.
Yeah.
You don't make the part. You don't own the car. You're trying to make a living and take care of your stuff, so.
I think there's just a lot of negativity in the automotive industry, period. And it starts from the top. If you look at GM, Ford, Chrysler, they've all slid downhill as far as morals and how they and that just trickles right down into parts, trickles right down in shops. I mean, there's very few, like Superbike Armin, one of my good friends, is like one of the only shops that does so much to help out his technicians. Gives them everything. They got a nice break room. They get a tool allowance. He takes care of them. Took them out to a wedding and rented like Lamborghinis for their wedding. What shop owner does that?
That's awesome.
I mean, and quite frankly, I would want to do that too. If I had a bigger shop where I had more employees and whatnot. I got to that point in my life where I was ready to make that jump to do something. I think that's where things need to go to. I don't know how you are with your shop, Jimmy. Are you completely happy with everything you do? And it's going on?
I mean, it's as laid back as you can possibly have it. I'm actually trying to push them to work a little harder and faster up front. But I mean, anytime I've ever whispered about considering moving on, I get a pretty good raise. So
that's good.
I don't think I'll be going anywhere anytime soon.
That's what it takes, though. I mean, you really got to have. You really should be treated like the gold, honestly, in the industry right now. And I'm not saying like overly treated like gold, like ass kicking, like constantly. That would get old because you don't want to be treated
fairly. You just want to be treated fairly.
Yeah, exactly. I know guys that literally take that to the next level, and like those guys are just a handful, and you don't want them around.
Yeah.
I don't want to. If you can't be a reasonable person, see you later. It's time to go.
Yeah.
And we all know there's prima donna. And
guys
I know
won't clean up after themselves, mop the floor when they make a mess. That's not my job. Yes, it is. You made the mess. Have
you ever worked with that mechanic who thinks he should be? Well, let me put it to you this way. There's a couple guys that were not. They thought they were the best. But all they were the best parts changers.
That's a pretty common thing.
Yeah, that's the other guy. And I remember this guy, Larry. Oh my God, this dude! He had a brand new Snap-on box 3-bank, top and bottom, and the whole one side of it was absolutely full of parts. And that's all he did was change parts all day long. This guy knew exactly what to do, and he was like, and if you took anything from him, he would literally throw a fit.
Yep.
And they fed into him, and it was absolutely a pain in the ass.
Yep.
That's what happens, though.
Yeah.
That's that squeaky wheel thing. It's always the way it goes.
This is a question from Quick Wrench. Hey, Jimmy, is mechanic certification a requirement in Florida? Nope. It's not. It's not common anywhere that I know of.
Nope. I mean, you make more money with certifications, but it's not a requirement.
Is that something? Is Michigan trying to turn into California now?
Yeah, apparently. No, it's always been like that. We always had to have a certification.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
I mean, what's your thoughts on that, Jimmy? Since there's been a couple people talking about that.
I think it's good in some respects because it proves that you want to improve yourself in the industry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but I don't know about mandatory.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
The mandatory thing, here's my thing.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that are really, really good at reading comprehension and taking tests. I know a lot of really, really good people that can't pass tests in their life, but can diagnose a motor with a quickness.
Yep.
So it's one of those.
There's always variables like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, I know here, if we had a mandatory, there'd be probably way less mechanics in the first place.
Yep.
And it'd be harder to stand out. It's kind of like what they do with college degrees now. Once everyone has one, it's less valuable kind of thing. Is that, I mean, you see what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense, but it's harder to stand out if everyone's certified in your industry. You need it to do the job at all. But now if you walk in with certifications, however many you have, that indicates how many dollars you're going to get. So that's the reason I became a master mechanic, because I got $1 an hour per test.
Yeah, that's
so I passed all 8 tests. I passed L1, and then I started taking truck tests and bodywork tests. And by the time I had about 27 certifications, they were like, whoa, that's enough. No more dollars.
I'm that guy. I'm that guy that I struggle with tests. Going through ASC. By the time I made a T6, I'm going, okay, my brain's fried. I'm done. I don't want to do this no more.
Yeah.
Oh, Provically, it has to have requirements in Canada. I have 4 tickets, huh?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. Canada, you've got to have all kinds of junk.
Well, that's the other end of the spectrum is you get a lot of people who have no idea what they're doing that try to be mechanics.
Yeah.
And no one says, hey, man, why don't you come up here to the front desk and work in sales? Because it's the 3rd time a wheel fell off a car, you know.
Jimmy, have you been watching YouTube for a while?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, I'm not. Listen, I used to be a real pain in the ass on YouTube. Okay, I used to like ridicule guys and be like, "Listen, what are you doing? Like, watch guys pad slap cars, didn't put it like." Now I just don't watch it. I mean, you're allowed to do whatever you want on your cars, but when you're saying you're working on somebody's car, there's 3 different types of people in car mechanics world. And the guy that comes in and it's a DIY guy and tries to tell me that I'm an idiot because I buy this tool and whatnot, I'm professional, doesn't grasp what I'm doing. Then you have this fabricator / pretty decent mechanic type guy, and they just do some cobbly shit once in a while here and there. Like I see him do some. I'm not gonna try to call him out, but I like Fab Rats, okay? I'll be honest. I like watching Fab Rats. I think he's a great guy. He does some really cool stuff, but I've seen him do some stuff that if I did it as a professional, it would literally be, I would be in jail easily. Oh, yeah. You know, but his channel says it. He's Fab Rats, okay? So that's what he does is fabricate. And he's even said, I'm not a professional mechanic, you know, and there's guys who do that. But it's such a fine line to dance on. And that's what bothers me about making videos of repairs and stuff which is not terrible for doing customer repairs, but some of the repairs I want to do on my own stuff, I want to maybe do a little bit of Jimmy rigging, you know, here and there, you know.
Yep. That's the problem in our industry too. People don't realize is if you do brakes on somebody's car and the brakes fail and they get killed or hurt, they sue the mechanic personally.
Yep.
They don't go after the shop. The mechanic that did the work's responsible. So when it's all said and done, that car's not going anywhere if it's not going to be safe. I've declined to work on cars when people wouldn't do certain things, but it's pretty rare. And I've had people take cars out with metal-to-metal brakes because they don't want to buy a rotor.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I 100% agree with you. It is a fickle situation that's scary because people are too crazy anymore. Yeah. I've had a lot of people decline to let me video on their cars. They don't want me to video on their cars. Yeah. I always ask, and they say no. So a couple jobs that I wanted to make a nice video on, and they said no. This is Iowa. I mean, this is like, you think small town, basically. That's what we are. People are very, very gun shy about video recording. Even friends of mine, good friends of mine, family, even they're like, no, I don't want, and because the repercussions are people were like, dude, someday somebody's going to come back and you're going to get haunted on for the videos.
I had it happen once. I try to not show phone numbers, personal identification, and things like that. I just show the work I'm doing, and once in a while I get a little silly and show a little more than I probably should. But I had one where I showed the guy's phone number and email on his truck, and then when I zoomed in on the mileage, his family was in the picture.
Yeah.
Someone that watched my video contacted him and told him that a pedophile was filming his kids in his truck.
See,
So needless to say, I had to pull that video down.
if you got the old nipple slip.
So now I can't show commercial phone numbers, emails, license plates, because I have people that will contact the customer to cause trouble, because I guess that's how they get joy.
Well, that's the Penny Club members. That's ones I'm talking. That's the Penny Club members.
That's what I need to do, is have a Penny Club.
I just don't understand people anymore.
Luckily, it doesn't happen a lot. It happens just enough to make you go.
Yeah, it does. 10%.
Oh, yeah.
That YouTube has already confirmed that 10% of the
10%.
entire viewing sector is people who are miserable, just absolutely miserable with their life, and they will do the dumbest things. Dumbest things. Make fake websites, do whatever they can to try to, and they just constantly, and they can't let it go. They have brainworm. Yeah. That's exactly what it's called, brainworm.
Gotta be.
And they love the comment section. They're always in the comment section.
Brainworm.
Oh yeah.
Brainworm. That's the truth. And you're right, Ted. I don't know what happened but you know what happened to society? We all became fused on social media. Nothing has changed, okay? Realize this. Nothing has changed. 2008, when Facebook was opened up, it unlocked the future of you to have to deal with Meth Mike down at the trailer park, who had nothing better to do, and he got a government phone, and now he sits around and that's all he does is do. And then he gets on his phone. He's like, oh, that dude was talking about me.
Yeah,
that's it. Bring back MySpace. We all turned our back on Tom. Bring back MySpace. We didn't have this.
Yeah,
crap.
there you go.
There you go. Hey,
Tom was everybody's friend.
He was everybody's first friend.
But I mean, you know what? People don't understand that in the comments. I understand because they don't see it, but we do, and it's it's real. It's a growing problem because of YouTube. Has been addressing it, and trust me, they're well, I mean, as hard as they've been on you, Jimmy, you can only imagine how hard they are on these other guys that have been doing this stuff.
Guys with 200,000 subscribers and
dude, somebody I know has 500,000. I was talking to. He said that he literally spends almost like 3 hours blocking comments a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have certain words blocked, and I let it do it automatically, like links, or if there's no space between a period and a letter V or I, it also automatically blocks it for me because I was getting tons of spam, and it cut down on about 90% of it.
Yeah, I do links, but I also put in there fat if you say something fat, and I got just a couple of simple words, a couple cuss words and whatnot, and I didn't want to do that, but it is what it is. It's
you can only delete so many and laugh off so many before it gets under your skin. So luckily, 99% of the comments are awesome. I get a lot of good feedback. So
while we're kind of on the subject of trolls and whatnot, anybody out there watching, look, I understand it might seem full-hearted that somebody falls for it, but a lot of people do. If you ever comment on a video and a channel replies to your comment that looks like the channel that you commented on saying you won a prize, don't click the freaking link. Don't click the link. Don't give your personal info. You didn't win a cruise from somebody. No, don't do it.
Yep. We do everything by email. If you want anything or any of that's going to happen, it's going to be by email, not by a text or a phone number or any of that stuff. Only the creator's email.
That's a good comment. I'm sorry, I was being rude.
Got a lot of comments rolling.
No, I'm sorry to the guys that we got in this chat. You guys are gonna have to pay attention to chat tonight. I'll try to talk to a few people, but I got a panel of goodness in here right now. and I'm not gonna lose out. This was you guys get a good opportunity, but we got. I wanna just. I was rude. I don't think I mentioned Mr. Ragin. How you doing, buddy?
Hey,
What's up, Raging?
He's back there in the background trucking, just a trucking. He's in there in the red light. I wanted to say hi to him because he jumped in here a while ago and I didn't even say anything, so I apologize for being rude, sir. Appreciate you coming on.
I was
How you
enjoying
been
the
doing?
conversation.
Yeah, feel free to jump in whenever you want to, buddy. You know, if you got something to say, just yeah. So enough of the troll stuff. I deal with that. I bear that burden enough every week, and I'm partially to blame for myself because I am not scared to say stuff, but it is what it is.
Oh, you got to say what you think. What you think is what you think. You can't change that for anybody.
Well, I'm not. If you're going to be disrespectful, I'm going to be disrespectful right back. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you say something stupid, I'm gonna plow right into you. And
I try to talk to people like I'm with them in the room, and
Yeah.
they could hit me in the face if I say something stupid, and I want them to know I could too. So that's how you should handle every conversation.
Well, it's just sad to me. It's like I actually changed I did the comment deal. It says if you're disrespectful, then I'm gonna insult you and block you. And a couple people take that as a challenge, and I'm like, okay. I mean, how stupid
That's
are
that
you?
10% you talked about.
Yeah, it is, but that I want to get rid of those people. What they don't understand is I do that so that they can say something, so they can block them. So it's just one less person that I ever have to deal with.
Weed them out.
Yeah. I mean, the more I can get them in here, the faster. It's like herding cats, you know. I can get them in here and get them out real fast. Like, you know, that's my theory. Now we all know my friend Nick Pixel does not agree with that theory. He tells me that I'm an idiot. He says, "Why don't you just leave them alone?" Because they're just, and I don't even, you know, I've gotten so laxed on it lately. I don't even care. It makes me laugh now, but it is something that it's problem. Anyways, back to the tools. So it's great to have you on here, Jimmy. Great to have all you guys on here, and
it's like a party.
I'm glad that I understood more. I feel like this was such a long time coming to hear your comments about this. So, now that being said, we're talking about Snap-on. Now we're going to talk about my second favorite subject on YouTube. And that's the Harbor Freight.
The Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
The Harbor Freight. Okay.
So let me tell you my opinion on Harbor Freight. Then you can go.
Absolutely. No, I'm ready. That's what I'm wanting. Exactly what I'm wanting.
A little less than 10% of what they sell is okay. 90% of it stay away from. But I'm not going to say it's all junk.
No.
Some of their stuff's okay, but you got to choose wisely.
I'm impressed that you actually said 10%. That's actually. I mean, I actually thought you were more into it, but
No.
did you actually start buying some here recently, thinking that it was upgraded, and then realized that you was making a mistake with some of the stuff that you're buying?
I've had some of the Pittsburgh stuff given to me, and I've bought some of the Icon stuff just to try it out because I was getting rid of Snap-on stuff. And honestly, it hasn't been that bad. I mean, I've had a couple of things I'm a little disappointed in, but some of the worst tools I've actually bought were from Amazon.
Oh, dude.
Agreed.
Like handball and stuff like that. It's terrible.
Yeah, dude. Amazon. Well, I mean, dude, I love making those videos. I honestly want to make more videos about Amazon making fun of the name. Some of the guys were coming in the comments. I felt bad. They're like, dude, I had that tool. Yeah. I forget what it's called, Mr. Pirouette or something like that. Pirouette. I was like, dude, where do they come up with these names?
They don't have good translators.
Well, the thing is that the problem is that these are the companies that are actually making tools for a lot of other companies. Yeah. And now Amazon's giving them a platform. Here's the thing about Amazon. Amazon has given because they're a vendor. So this is maybe not widely known. Let me know if you knew this, but Amazon, most of these companies have contracts to sell directly to, let's say, Harbor Freight or any other of these distributors. Amazon is also a vendor. So now they can sell directly to Amazon and they don't have to change the name and they can undercut their own customers.
That's probably true. Yeah, I would assume that's true because I know Bezos is getting rich for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the average Amazon retailer makes $35,000 a year.
Oh wow.
And there's 6.5 million individual sellers on Amazon, and Jeff
Yeah.
Bezos gets a little cut of every single sale.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, dude, he built a rocket, didn't he? Or he bought a rocket, didn't he? I
That's how
mean,
he compounds his money, by all the hardworking people that make a little tiny bit. He gets a little more than them.
yeah.
Times
So
millions of people.
Now that being said, I do enjoy buying some tools off Amazon.
Oh yeah, I just ordered a
I
couple
buy
things.
most of my OTC off of it.
well, there's decent stuff on Amazon. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I got this. Where's that pile of garbage at? Where's that thing at?
Icon screwdrivers are good. Just a little, just between you, me, and everyone in the chat, I did buy a Trusty Cook hammer on Amazon that I haven't released a video yet. So
There you go.
just an inside scoop for the people in the chat.
This thing's been going strong, and I just been throwing it all over, like ragdolling it.
What brand is that?
With Avahurt.
Avahurt?
Yep. 21 volt.
Huh.
We all know what that means. It's not a 21 volt, it's an 18. But it's got a rubber coating on the battery, or it's got a protective coating on the battery. And it's, I can't kill it.
Is that $100?
They're 100. They're actually down to $80, I think now, or maybe
Oh, wow.
100, 110. But it's for a mid-torque impact. I mean, they'll take wheels off. They'll take lug nuts off.
That's all that matters. If it
Comes
does
with two
that.
batteries and a charger. It's 100% made in China, but 90% of the cordless tools are. So where are we going to beat that at? You're not.
Anything
Oh, yeah.
electronic is going to be Chinese parts. Doesn't matter who you buy it from.
This
Yes,
what-
I did. Autotech Mike. Did you see that? Yes, I did. What's up, Small Town Machine Shop? How you doing? Greg Blau. Lights, pliers are decent. Yeah, I do like Icon. This is kind of an. We'll get back to that in a second.
tried
but-
to even show this, but it's not even picking up anymore. Those that think you have to have the big tool truck brands and all that, this is a Stanley socket that I used for years and years and years.
Yep.
When I got into it, beat this thing to death. It was before I had impacts, anything like that, and it runs strong. And I mean, I think I bought it at Walmart. So
Well, they were big Stanley dealer for. They were a big one.
yeah, and it works great.
Yeah.
For a long
What I
time.
tell the younger guys, buy the cheap stuff, and whatever breaks, replace with better stuff.
I tell
Yeah.
everybody, why do I have this Snap-on that I have? The same reason why I have a limited Ram out front. I don't need a newer truck. I can. I like it. I've been in the industry long enough. I can afford it. It's a nice thing. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's just dicey seeing stuff on Amazon. But I will say this: YouTube is very clickbaity on doing, Milwaukee, DeWalt, whatever the big stuff is, and
Yep.
that's kind of where I'm stretching my legs onto. Which don't get me wrong, I'm not going to be buying a bunch of Chinese stuff, but there's a few things that intrigue me, like this one, that I want to. That I'm kind of. I see something, I look at it. I definitely do my research before I buy it. But there's a few tools that are intriguing to me. Not only that, the mechanic field doesn't have a huge following, period. I mean, I've been doing this for 3 years now, and I'm growing at the speed of smell because I don't cater to DIY stuff. I really don't. I really don't cater to, and there's a lot more guys out there that are DIY that they don't want to spend Snap-on money on stuff. There's guys that do, but at the end of the day, everybody wants to find the best bang. I think at the end of the day, everybody really wants to find the best bang for their buck, and I totally agree with that.
Value per dollar. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you buy the super cheap stuff, and if you disagree with me on any of this, if you buy the super cheap stuff, you get what you pay for. If you buy the expensive stuff, you get what you pay for. But if you buy the middle of the road stuff, usually you can come out pretty well pleased.
Oh, yeah.
The middle of the road stuff's pretty good nowadays. Maybe
Yeah.
20 years ago, not so much, but it's gotten better.
And it doesn't get the attention it needs because it's not clickbait on YouTube, which it's not really clickbait, but it's not highly sought after. I mean, like, that's why I went after Capri. Lyle Tools had pretty much no traction.
Yep.
There's a few videos. Steve's had a really successful video. But Lyle Tools really had no traction on YouTube. Mac Tools had no traction on YouTube when I started. All those were, and to me, I considered Mac a kind of, it was a low. I bought Mac because it was a lower cost when I was a younger guy.
Yep.
They were 25, 35% cheaper than Snap-on, and they had decent tools. I could buy Blackhawk off the truck. I bought some. My dealer sold SK off the truck. I had good options from my Mac dealer when I bought tools, and he even sold ATD stuff, which is the house brand for Medco and whatnot. So I bought a lot of that. So I wasted my money on a shitload of cordless tools. I will tell you that. One thing that I regret the most, and I have a problem buying cordless tools, but the one thing I still say the most is cordless tools are a trap, a thirst trap for people. And I see they're so relevant in YouTube, and so many channels do so much cordless shit.
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking, and if you guys watched Torque Test Channel's video this morning, he had about doing the palm ratchet impact. 2 weeks ago, we were talking about this on my live. I was talking about butterfly impact, and they actually built. It's for sale now.
He said, "Good idea."
Yeah, well, I mean, you remember the butterfly?
Yeah.
We were talking about this about GM intakes when I used to like the three. I remember the 3-1s, all those bolts on all the intake up there. I could sit there and bam, 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 and I could take all those off with a butterfly impact. And I like that tool. I had a swivel on it. Yeah, they used to be, and that and a 1/4 inch impact was kind of nice. They were not very powerful woodpeckers, but they're still more powerful.
Break it loose with a wrench, put the butterfly tool, spin it out.
Yep. I think a 1/4 inch impact, like a 12-volt 1/4 inch impact, is not as powerful as what those butterflies still are. I think they started with 75 foot-pounds. I was like, he said that wasn't very much power. I was like, dude, it's a 1/4 inch butterfly impact at 75 foot-pounds. Dude, you will pop 10 millimeter and 8 millimeter bolts off all day long like that. I mean, that'll just destroy them. But yeah,
the cordless tools is another thing. Like, I'm using a lot of cordless tools now, basically almost exclusively. But I've been doing this for 40 years. So, but I wouldn't tell someone that's 2 years into this to go buy $300 and $400 electric tools.
No, go buy air.
Once you're established, you want to get some so you don't have to pull an air hose around with you. Then that's different. But it's definitely not your first option.
Proto's the best thing on the planet. Hey, I know you buy all in small town auto. I've seen all your tool hauls, buddy. You find, I don't know where he finds Proto at, but he digs it up from the depths of wherever for dirt cheap. So yeah, he's getting an awesome.
You can actually find Proto very plentiful on Amazon. I've bought some myself.
What's Industro Super? I saw. What is that?
Industrial Super. That sounds familiar.
One in a comment. Oh, Industro Super Proto and Industro Super Turtle Poop.
Oh, Turtle Poop now.
Industrial Super.
Okay. Yeah.
I never heard of that.
I'm pretty sure I remember seeing. I think I have some Industrial Super.
I learned a lot of new things today. I'm on overload.
But when it comes to new mechanics, I tell you, one of my biggest pet peeves when they get on snap.
That's what he means.
Ah, there you go. Looks like an older craftsman. But what bugs me is when newer mechanics get talked into buying new snap-on screwdriver sets. It's a screwdriver. That's bugged me forever. I'm going, best thing, get you the old craftsman set. That worked just as good as Matco.
I think the best bang for your buck in screwdrivers right now is Vessel.
Yeah, I think
it's good stuff.
I will definitely agree with that too. I'll be honest with you, Chad. I am a screwdriver. I am a finicky. I used so many bad screwdrivers. I had SK screwdrivers. That was my first set of professional ones, and I hated them. They were, and they're good screwdrivers. They aren't bad screwdrivers. The big problem. Then I bought a set of Mac ones, and Mac ran posi drives in the late 90s and early 2000s, and they were absolutely terrible too. And then I bought a Snap-on screwdriver, and I literally didn't understand why I didn't do it sooner. I wasted more money on screwdrivers than ever. So I'm very finicky about screwdrivers now, and I do like the Vessel, like the Mega Doors, an awesome screwdriver, and you can buy a set for like $50. It's definitely the way to go. 100%.
I have the full Tang ones. I forget what they're called, but you can hammer on the back of the handle.
Yeah.
The Tang goes all the way through like a good knife.
Yeah.
Oh, the red ones. Yeah.
Those things are awesome.
Yeah. You can't.
They were $80, I think.
That's definitely the best. Well, yeah,
I guess it depends on what all you're doing. Like, for a heavy truck mechanic,
probably don't use that many
screwing out
screwdrivers.
a lot. You know, it's one of those.
Yeah.
Take the hose clamp off. Put the clamp on.
Yeah.
Well, most of the hose clamps you do now are all 8mm, right?
Yeah.
A lot of those, but you'd be amazed of how many worm clamps I still see out there.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I just there's I've had a lot of screws and dashes I had to take out. And man, I tell you what, nowadays I my my go-to I don't turn hardly shit. I mean by hand. I'll be honest with you. It's finding a good bit. And when it comes to Vera and my hex driver, that's pretty much where I lay
That's
it down.
my bit driver. I couldn't live without. I use it more than any other tool.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm definitely very bougie when it comes to using. I don't. If I have to turn a screw more than 3 times, I'm definitely busting out. Yeah, exactly, just like that. And I got a Irwin set and my Vera set, and Veras are really good. I hear the Vihas are really good too, for bits. So, and
Do
they're
they
not.
make an air bit driver? I don't think they do.
No. Do they have an air cordless? Do they have an air ratchet? Yeah, they do. Mac does. Mac has an
They
air
have a bit
ratchet.
driver air. Okay.
Yeah, it has a bit driver on it.
I'm just wondering because the younger guys have an air option.
Yeah, that would be a tool that would probably, I would have to say that may be better off to go because you can get these pretty cheap. You can buy these
like $129 or
yeah, you can buy the hex drivers pretty decent.
Yeah.
I think you can get away with that in a cordless, but as far as air goes, I wouldn't want to use the ratchet for bit drive. I did that for a long time. I had a bit actually I got 1/4-inch bit adapters with the screws on. I think they're actually Calvans.
Yeah.
And that's what I used for a long time on my 1/4-inch air ratchet. So
about the only thing that I could think of that would come in handy on, and that's still I don't know. I suppose it could work is if you do a lot of floor repairs on trailers. Most of those are held in with, or at least at my company, is Torx bits.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can definitely get away with not buying Snap-on for screwdrivers without a doubt. I think I said that on my screwdriver video.
I like their screwdrivers, but they're really expensive for what you get.
It's insane anymore.
Yeah,
everything from Snap-on's insane anymore.
Well, the problem is though. Okay, so since we're talking about the price on everything, the thing is they use trilithium chrome process. The process that they use to build all their tools is absolutely still. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I got something on my screen. The price of the cost of manufacturing what they have on tools, I know has a lot to do with it. They still use they use the best process. The trilithium chrome process is a nickel plating and a trilithium chrome. So they dip it 3 times. They clean it extra clean. They're still doing a lot of better manufacturing than most of. That's the thing where it's going to be hard when you're comparing it to China. Is if you know the process they're using, and that they're going above and beyond in some cases for research and development, like the hammers. Do you need a hammer with a composite shaft in it and it has that much flex and free flowing? I mean, they definitely went above and beyond to give you the best. But do you need that? No, you don't necessarily need that. But if you're swinging a hammer all day long, you might want to think about doing that.
To me, if you want Snap-on's best for the chrome tools. Anything that's chrome.
That trilithium chrome is it's nickel plating. You can't beat it. I mean,
when you have the money and you're doing well in your career and you want to get really good chrome tools, Snap-on's the go-to brand. I think most people know that. Do you need it? No, but it's the brand. That's what everyone compares their tools to. Craftsman, I got a whole bunch.
We need to make these again in the country. Look, I get what you're saying, CP, and I respect that. As an end user, I could care less about the 18 dip chrome super wazoo. I cryogenically frozen. Elon Musk helped. It's a wrench. I beat the snot out of them. I've had these forever.
The other thing you have to do about that is over the years, I've gotten tired of these open end spreading. And that's another reason that Snap-on has a better forging process. When you're and like this came out on Torque Test channels, and I had already seen this myself and talked about it before they did this. I said I've noticed with the Tecton wrenches that they are kind of soft, and I couldn't quite put my finger on it. Well, they kind of blew it open for me and said, well, that laser cutting is not the strongest process because forging is still better. And that's the thing is, this is a forge. You can still buy tools like you're just showing there, Chad. Once again, there's options. This is a Stalvilla open end wrench, and I bought this set of Stalvilla open end wrenches like this for like $50 or maybe 30.
But there's a difference. These were actually made in the USA.
I thought that was Craftsman. That's not Craftsman.
Yes, it is Craftsman. Yes.
Yeah.
But that's a made in USA Craftsman.
It's like this big on my screen.
Yeah. But that's what I say. We need a tool company out there that is made in USA, is a quality product, lifetime warranty, and doesn't cost your soul. Because I'm sorry, again, I respect Snap-on, the super polished, high fancy. We really don't need that. And it's really screwing over a lot of the newer mechanics because
I think they set the bar.
Yeah, it's way too
I don't
high.
think it's a requirement, but they set the bar.
Yeah,
exactly.
And when you feel like you've made it and you want to get some really nice stuff, that's what you're going to buy: Snap-on wrenches or sockets or ratchets and that kind of thing.
Exactly. But the problem is, a lot of newer guys getting into it, they're being told
they don't need
you
to
only
buy
have
that.
this choice. You only got this. You only got that.
Here's my thing with trilithium chrome. These are not Snap-on sockets. These are Armstrong. They are over 20 years old, and they look just as good as the day they were new.
Yep.
That's the thing about them is and once again, me being kind of a tool snob, that's what I want. If I'm going to spend my money on something, I guess I kind of look at that as being, obviously we want to save money. There's no doubt about it. The number one thing that I get is always price. You're never going to get over that. It's just something that's just going to be a constant. It's like a gnat at barbecue. It's just going to be annoying for the rest of my life. I'm never going to. I heard that as a tool truck dealer 20 years ago when I was a Mac dealer, and I'm still hearing it today when I get back in on YouTube. It's never going to change. There's always going to be the complaint about price, but you have to find a reasonable price. And I've done a lot of shopping and buying like those Stalvilla wrenches. I don't mind buying German or Japan in cases where I don't want to spend the money. You can buy a satin finish socket that is nice quality and it will hold up too. And it's not trilithium chrome, but they do a pretty good. Speaking of satin, there you go. The satin finish would cut costs for a satin finish. There you go.
Yep.
That's just kind of the deal is.
I think the chrome helps with durability.
It does. It does.
So
it's proven.
It's something to consider if you're stuff you're using every day.
Yeah, they put the best, like that's what Snap-on's doing is they put the best process into what they're building. I don't agree with the company's morals or how they're treating people as far as I think if everybody's seen the bottom line, what would help Snap-on?
Nothing's ever perfect.
No, and you're never going to get that with anybody. Yeah. Companies for years have been fighting that. I mean, look at GM trucks or Ford trucks right now. Who in the hell wants to spend $80,000 on a truck? And there's people that are doing it.
Oh yeah,
which blows my mind. I mean, you can literally still almost buy a house for that.
Yeah. They're waiting in line to get one for $80,000.
My son-in-law is the sales director at Toyota, and he says they can't keep Tundras on the lot. They take them off the truck, and someone picks it up and takes it home.
It doesn't make sense.
$70,000 and up. So
we're headed toward basically another 2008. The way people are just getting these ridiculous loans, it's bound to happen. That bubble's going to pop.
Yep. I was just reading.
Flat Rate Master just did a video on that, and he said that we're coming into recession territory, and mechanics need to realize that their paychecks are going to get a lot smaller, and they don't need to be buying the big toolboxes now because that's going to come back and bite you.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's always that company that comes up right. Right tool, wrong business motto. That's what I call them.
Absolutely.
I wish they would. I mean, they have the opportunity of a lifetime right now to step up, but their stuff ain't super cheap neither. You're still going to pay the money for their stuff, and they do trilithium chrome too. So they're not doing cheap process on manufacturing tools neither. So kind of one of those things. You're going to require people to shop, and I guess that's what the benefit of YouTube is you get a bunch of guys together and they all do different videos and give you different options, and you keep watching. I guess it's going to keep me making videos for lifetime because that's how it is.
Try to make an informed decision. There's no real right or wrong.
No.
Everyone's rowing their own boat.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's what I try to do. I want to. That's what I don't want. I don't necessarily want to push Snap-on, Mac, or anything, but I want people to know what the difference is between buying a cheaper socket and a more expensive socket. What you're looking at when you're buying it. That's all I care to do. So you can weigh that option when you go to buy it. If you want to buy a Pittsburgh socket and that's what works for you, then by all means go for it. I never do. I don't care what you buy.
Well, that's your thing too. You know, if you try that Pittsburgh socket, it fails on you. Here's a better option. You know, and if that one fails on you, then you get a Snap-on. You know,
I did buy a Pittsburgh socket. I bought Pittsburgh sockets based off of people saying they were better, which I got it, and I was like, wow, these are better. And inherently, when I first got these sockets, I thought, dude, these are nicer sockets than the ones that used to explode in my face when I was when I went to Harbor Freight and would spend $100. And then I started having issues with them not fitting, and then I realized, well, these things are manufactured like somebody shoves a ramrod down through the middle of them. They're not built like any other traditional socket where the hole is hogged out. And I went to take a gas tank off, and I'll tell you what, you know as well as I do, Jimmy, when you're removing a fuel pump, the last thing you want to have to do is you're to that last bolt, you're holding one side of the tank, and this was a full tank of fuel, and the socket went up there and it wouldn't touch the bolt. And here I am, and now I have to put that other bolt back on and go get a different socket, and I was absolutely furious. And I took that socket and threw it right in the garbage, and then I picked it back up.
It's got a lot of metal in it, so it'll work.
Yeah, that's how they make them, so that they're strong enough. Yep. But you don't get the depth on them that you would on a normal socket. Yep. So that's a trade-off that you're gonna have to take when you spend the money on that. So
I've had good luck with gray pneumatic sockets.
Yes, same.
I've got a set of those. Yeah, I like them.
Only downside behind those is their weird warranty.
I haven't had to experience it yet, but I'm sure I'll find out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna break them eventually.
They basically say if you didn't buy them directly from them or an authorized dealer, no warranty. So if you buy off Amazon or anything like that, they say no warranty.
Which one's that?
Gray
pneumatic.
Gray pneumatic.
Oh yeah, I've heard issues. You know, that's the other thing is inconsistencies in all tool companies. I will say the only one that I can honestly feel like will not give you an inconsistency that I feel confident. Two people that I've had to deal with that have never gave me anything issues whatsoever so far is Lyle Tools and Capri. Capri has never, which I think Capri is probably not going to do anything to mess up anything for me. Like that would be the worst thing they could do.
Capri stuff's pretty good. I've got quite a few of their things. They're pretty good.
I feel like they're a pretty legit company. I really do. They've been very cool about everything. They ask me questions, and say, "Hey, we're going to do this," and I give a little input, and I like a company that's willing to ask. And it doesn't have to be just me. I know they ask other people too, and that's the cool thing is that they're surveying real mechanics and asking people for things that are going to make a difference. And the more people they involve, the better. You know what I mean? It's not just about them selling tools. They also care about their brand and not destroying it. So, yeah.
I've got their super shallow impact sockets. They're pretty good. I've got their thin wrenches and a couple other things, ratchets and stuff. All good stuff. I haven't had a problem with any of it.
What is this? What is going on here? China will buy out China will never buy out Snap-on.
Snap-on has manufacturing plants in China.
They do. They have for their Blue Point toolbox.
Only because it saves them money, logistics. They don't have to ship stuff to China to sell it there, so they make stuff there and sell it to the Chinese people.
Exactly. Well, they also have it. They also have it there for their Blue Point brand too.
Some of their electronics and stuff like that.
They used to have their the Heritage Series. Some of their bigger boxes were made in China, and then they got them all back here to Algona finally. But that's the other thing people don't understand is that when the world wants something if everybody on the truck stopped buying Snap-on, they would immediately. What are you doing? If everybody stopped buying Snap-on tools, you'll instantly see a change in price. You'll know.
Yep.
You'll see when they get too expensive. You'll know. Snap-on has not made it to that point yet. People think that they're going down in business and quality. Everybody's having QC issues. That's the other thing that I see. I see all the time. I mean, granted, I had the Pittsburgh and I made fun of it, but that's everybody's having that problem. It's not just Gear Wrench, Pittsburgh. It's everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen multiple people complain from different companies. I mean, we just had JD Tico had a set of Lang Matco Lang pry bars with a Matco one in it. That's a QC issue because they weren't paying attention to what they were doing, which most of us already knew that Lang was making them for Matco because Matco doesn't manufacture anything anyway. So you knew somebody had to be making them.
Yep.
And they're being made in the USA. You only have so many options. I mean, Snap-on wasn't making them for Matco. We know that.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, you've got what? Lang, Snap-on, and Wild.
yeah, Wildy, and then Mayhew. But dude, I got a Mayhew pry bar right here right now. That's a pile of junk. Not even kidding you. I haven't even discussed it with Mayhew yet because I'm waiting to see what they're going to
That's
want.
the one with the bad finish on it and stuff.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's got more than bad finish. It looks like they literally used it for 20
Like it's
years
not new.
and repainted it and sent it out to me. I mean, it looked like it came in as a warranty job.
Oof.
Dude, what
What
is
if they accidentally sent something out to you that was warranted?
Yeah, that's exactly what it.
I've got a bunch of Mayu tools. They've been pretty good too, but they're pretty pricey.
Some of them aren't bad. Some of them are a little bit up there, but Mayhew is definitely. I know distributors have had problems with them. I know people. There's some issues they've had, but they do build a lot of stuff. They build mostly all Mac and Matco stuff for them as far as pry bars and whatnot.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'll say this about tool trucks, and I'm sure people are going to disagree with me, but if it weren't for tool truck accounts, so zero interest and all that, Snap-on, companies like that would pretty well be under by now.
Yeah.
I don't
agree with
know.
that.
I've never used any tool truck credit, so I really feel like, and when I was a Mac dealer, I'll be honest with you, 10% of my guys use tool truck credit, and I was number 3 dealer.
Shocked.
Yeah, I was that's just from personal experience. So
Yeah, maybe in your area.
I think you might be surprised if you surveyed a few dealers. I think you might be surprised if you ask them, hey, how much of your business is done by credit? Because I don't know that it's as much as you think it is.
I've spoken with my dealers around, and from my experience in Georgia, it's high.
Really?
Yeah, it's very high.
What's up, Chuck Miller? You did finally make it, buddy. I literally can count on my hands and toes how many times I sold tool truck credit. Of course, back then Mac was not very good with tool truck credit. We had the Mac card, and
Yeah.
that was a absolute. What are you doing? You trying to get warm? Your computer up on you? We had the Mac card. We had some. I don't remember what the other was, but and not only that, you see these other guys, Affinity, that's on Affinity program or the Affinity stuff, and Affirm and Steezy and Wheezy and Cheesy. You can buy tools online now with credit and PayPal, and I don't understand. These guys are literally loading up people up with credit. If you honestly, here's the thing, real quick. If you honestly think that tool truck credit is the problem, what do you think about that type of credit? Because I've already heard that those places like Affirm and whatnot are already upside down, and they just started opening the doors on these. It's not the tool truck credit's the problem. It's the people that are the problem.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying it's the tool truck credit is a problem. I'm saying you're getting people, young kids that have no credit, so they can't get a low interest credit card to buy their stuff. So they get on the truck and they say, yeah, it's $30 a week. And so they start buying. If they had the credit or the cash to go elsewhere, I guarantee they would do it.
Yep.
But let me ask you this. Whose job is it to understand credit? The tool truck guys or the person buying the credit?
Oh, no, it's absolutely the guy buying. Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's what I say. If the tool truck stopped credit lines and just said we had to run basically a Snap-on credit account, so we got to get your Social Security and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I think a lot of business on the trucks would drop.
I spent a lot of time educating guys when they went to get credit. I'm not the credit guru. I'm not the richest guy in the world. I don't use a lot of credit. I have used it, but I try to avoid it at all costs. And that was because I listened to Dave Ramsey. Save up, buy. And that was my motto.
Mhm.
I just never made a lot of money, but I have to be smart with my money. So that means saving it and using it the best way wisely. If I've seen a 0% financing program where I could get it and pay it off in the time frame, yeah, I'd jump on it because that's the same as you getting interest-free money is the best way you can use credit.
Yep.
But the problem is too many people get credit and they couldn't afford it in the first place.
Yes.
And I have friends, family, tons of people, more than not, I can say it's because they're impulse buyers. And that's the problem.
Yep.
Is that they get on there and impulse buy. We need to teach our people better method.
Should be a school class.
Yeah, it should be in school.
Doing your checking, savings, all that stuff.
Yeah, they used to do that in school,
Yeah.
I mean, they used to have sex ed and everything in there. I got in trouble for being in that class, of course, because, I made plenty of comments that got me in trouble right away. But, you can imagine that. That's how it goes. I got kicked out of sex ed.
When I was in school, we learned how to balance a budget. We had practice little checks. We had to write checks out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
we did all that.
I used to write out checks and screw the teacher over. Try to screw the teacher over. I'd be like, "Here, I want to take out a loan," and she'd be like, "When are you going to pay me back?" And I'd play money games. I'm not super smart. I'm just, but I was always a smart ass and I always tried to find the right angles, like in sex class. The sex ed teacher asked me, she said, "What are you doing? What happens after the sperm meets the egg?" I said, "Well, you smoke a cigarette." Boom! CP, go to the office.
You're in detention.
What did I do? You asked me what happens after the sperm meets the egg. So,
Usually you leave the money on the table.
that's it. I live in California. They taught everyone how to apply for food stamps.
It's so bad.
That's bad. It's bad, but he's probably not lying.
I saw the tent cities. All that
That's
stuff.
not
It's
getting
just
far
ridiculous.
behind.
No, well, dude, they do it to a lot of people, man. I'm not going to lie to you. And it's kind of scary. And I don't want to get on politics here, but because I've done that way too much. But there's a lot of times when people they default you right to a system. A default. I mean, when I was sick, they tried to default me to disability, and I said, "Ain't no way." Okay, first of all, I asked, "How much is that going to pay?" And they were like $800 a month. I'm like, "Are you freaking out of your mind? What am I going to do with $800 a month? I mean, it takes $200, just $250 to buy groceries." And I said, and then on top of that, you got gas and this and that. That ain't gonna bake a hill of beans.
Yeah.
For a guy. And I instantly knew that I was not going to get caught up in that trap right away.
Yeah.
Just not going to happen. So
some people don't have an option, but if you have an option,
well, I didn't have an option, but I just said I was going to make an option. That's all there is to it.
That's the best.
That's what you got to do, though. You got to have intestinal fortitude.
Yep.
When you're ready, when you're back in a corner, you ain't got nothing else. You just gotta, So I went out and did what I had to do. And that's how it is. That's what they need to start teaching people more of, though. And there's plenty of job opportunities out there right now.
Oh,
I see odds for people paying $18 to $20 an hour to work at Burger King. Now, I mean, dude, if you have to, go flip some burgers.
Yep.
Why not?
The local Quick Trip gas station around us, they are advertising, looking for security. If you will work as Quick Trip security guard, they will pay you $35 an hour.
Unbelievable.
I'm like, I will sit on my butt, rob the place they're insured, don't care. Give me my 35.
I'd quit working on cars for that.
Realistically,
stand around
my job, we're starting you out at right there around 30 an hour if you have any kind of experience. Cannot get anybody. Nobody wanted to actually work.
It's hard. It's hard to find someone to work on vehicles nowadays.
Yeah.
Really hard.
It's hard to find
Yeah.
anybody to do
Well,
anything these days.
yeah, no kidding. Driving truck, working on cars, anything that's manual labor is definitely.
Well, they get mad because, we pay by the hour and we say, well, you have to do this amount of time, paperwork, and you have to do this, that. And I didn't sign up for that. I'm just here to turn wrenches. You're paid by the hour. I don't care if you're turning wrenches or filing papers. We're paying you $30 a freaking hour. No, it's not for me. They'll quit.
I want to say one last thing about this before we get too far down a rabbit hole. But I seen they're offering pay the same week for pay now.
So that Friday you get that week's paycheck.
Well, even sometime paid next day. I heard about this. I'm like,
wow.
Are you freaking kidding me? I heard about this. I can't remember where it was, but I was like, somebody, I saw it or read it or seen it somewhere, and I go, "Are you freaking kidding me?" So these people they're trying to get, because people will come there and work for a week, get a paycheck, and quit, and then go on unemployment, or whatever it has to do.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So I just quit mechanic work and started bottom level electrician. Not gonna lie to you, that's definitely. Nope, not that guy. What the hell? What did I do? The chat moved on me. That is, I got a buddy who's a plumber now, and he's made it work there 4 years, and he's making 150 grand being a plumber now. And not only that, he's a foreman on top of that. So great, enjoying the stream. That's great. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the stream. I apologize, like I said. I love talking to you guys. Tonight we got a special guest on with Jimmy, and it's been a long time coming to have a chat with him. And we got Chad on here, Steven left. We got two Stevens, we got two Chads, and we've got Raging, the Cajun.
Full house.
Garage. Raging Cajun's garage, to be more specific. Right, Raging?
Yep.
Manual labor is like oiling air tools. People are avoiding it at all costs. Yeah. I agree with that, Corey. Yes, I seen your question earlier. Yes, I was a Mac dealer too, Corey. In the time frame of about the early 2000s till mid to late 2000s, I was a distributor, and I actually, not to brag, but I will, because why not? I was number 3 in the world, number 2 in the United States when I was a dealer. Little old Des Moines, Iowa. Unbelievable. People are like, dude, you don't even look. Your city's like the size. You can throw down a washcloth and have wall-to-wall carpeting in Des Moines. Yeah, that's true, but you don't understand the tool buying. If I'm a tool addict in Iowa, what do you think other people are like? I know a guy that's got a Snap-on Epic with 3 side lockers on it, each side.
Dang.
One thing about pay I wanted to say real quick while we were on it.
Oh yeah.
When I started out as a kid, as a mechanic, I got $3.75 an hour.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
I want to say when I started, I started at Amoco. I started working at an Amoco service station, and I think I was on a hybrid system, so I got paid a percentage, and it had to exceed my 40 hours. But I think when I started, I made $12, maybe 10 or $12 is what I made. And then I got a percentage, and we did propane and tires. And believe it or not, I did more money in propane and tires most week than I did on auto repair work. Plus I fixed cars on top of that. And then I became the night shop foreman. And I was really starting to rake it in. I stopped doing as many tires, but I got to tell you, some of those weeks where I repaired tires, I could make $300 a week just in tire repairs alone.
Yep.
I don't remember what I started out as, but I distinctly remember one of my raises, the one that I thought like I hit the big time, is when I started making $9 an hour. That was just huge.
Yeah. I got hired at Pep Boys in 1991, and I hit the big time because I had 2 ASCs and I was getting $14 an hour.
Ooh, dang.
Mm-hmm.
91, that was big.
That was pretty good money back then. That was pretty good.
I don't know if y'all can hear my pup over there snoring like
I
crazy.
made almost as much in a year as you can make working at McDonald's now.
Yep.
Corey, where was your data macular at in Iowa?
Anyway, CP guys, I appreciate you having me on. I have got to get up before dawn, so I need to jump off.
It's been 2 hours already.
Yep.
I got a few more questions I want to hit Jimmy with if he's got some time.
Whew.
What's that?
I got a few more questions I want to hit Jimmy with if he's got some time.
Yeah, I got some more time.
All right, but I got to jump off. I'll see y'all later.
Take care,
Thank
man.
you
Have a
for
good weekend.
coming on.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Jimmy, so I'm curious. I know you've done a video on this, but your Icon Toolbox. You're still solid on your toolbox. You still like it?
I like it. I mean, the only things I'm having a hard time with is the drawer catches. They're kind of like a friction catch.
Yep.
Not too crazy about it. And it's only like 25.5 inches deep, 26 inches deep, something like that. I wish it was a couple inches deeper. But for what it cost, I mean, the bottom box, the top box, and the locker was $5,900. And the last time I talked to Snap-on, I was going to put a locker on my Epic. And he said with the power drawer in the bottom, it was $5,800.
Mm-hmm.
Just for
So
the
my
locker,
Icon
yeah.
has a power drawer in it, and it costs $100 more for all three pieces. So, and someone told me well, you don't have resale value on your Icon box. I said, well, if you buy a $20,000 Snap-on box and it depreciates 50%, you lost more money than my toolbox cost.
Mm-hmm.
So
I could give it away and I'm still ahead.
if you buy a Snap-on toolbox for retail cost, I will say you're probably a fool. They got you. Snap-on definitely got you. I will say that. So I know that I was looking at an Epic, but I will say they definitely still don't want to cut a good deal on them. I was looking at an Epic, and I think I got quoted out $35,000 for an Epic. I was getting enough to fill up this whole wall pretty much.
My 84 with the hutch retail for 21, and I got it for 16.6.
16.6. You traded in something else?
Well, I traded in a $12,000 toolbox, and I paid the difference.
So do you mind me asking what you ended up getting out of your Epic?
When I sold it, I got $2,000 and a 2018 Ford Focus.
So,
and I sold the Ford Focus for $10,000.
Oh, so you didn't get hurt too bad then.
I got $12,000 back out of it.
Right. So that's a good point. So I like it. So that's awesome. So that's right there. There's a lot of finagling and understanding when you're buying a toolbox. And that's no different. Yeah, and that's no different than me. I got 7,000 and everything I got right here.
No one had the cash to buy it.
Yeah.
So I had to take a car and sell the car to get the cash. So
well, I mean, and that's not always, but you know what? The cool part about it is I like it because what you did there is exactly what I would recommend for anybody doing. If you're going to buy a toolbox, there's ways to do it. I got a buddy of mine that he wanted to buy a Snap-on toolbox. This is a really good story. He wanted to buy a Snap-on toolbox, and he went out and bought 4 Snap-on toolboxes off Facebook Marketplace and traded them in, and he made money.
Oh.
He made money on buying his Snap-on box. So
the tool truck guy can sell that box for way more money because he'll finance it.
Right.
Just a couple inches deeper.
Yeah. I hear that, Bill Beckett. Yeah, we all can say that. But it's definitely the trick, though, for toolbox buying. I think I've done a video way back in the archives about this because when I was buying my toolbox, I've never gotten taken on a toolbox, in my opinion, I feel. I bought the stainless steel box. Well, actually, I bought my crafting box from Sears on closeout for $100. And it was a triple stack single bay, which was pretty relevant when I was in the early 2000s, late 90s. That you probably seen a ton of guys had toolboxes like that. You didn't have to have that many tools yet because late 90s, there were still basically OBD1, OBD2 was just coming in, and shit wasn't near as ridiculous as it is now. But then I bought the Mac toolbox. I actually was a dealer. No, I bought a Waterloo toolbox. Excuse me. I bought a Waterloo toolbox with my student discount as through tech school and with SK tools in it for $2,000. And it was a 41-inch toolbox. It's a nice toolbox. And I ended up selling it for $800. And I still kept all the tools in it. Then I took that $800 and I got a bunch of credit when I sold a bunch of stuff when I was a Mac dealer and bought. Technically, I didn't buy it. I got it for free. But it was $2,500 was retail value, but it was retail was for $5,000. Basically, all toolboxes are 50% of what the retail price is.
Yeah.
That's what the cost for the dealer is. That's a rule of thumb you can go by.
I had 7 Snap-on toolboxes over my career, and every toolbox I traded in my previous Snap-on toolbox and got what I paid for it towards the next one.
There you go.
As long as I got a bigger one.
So you got to be smart about it. It's not as a lot of people I do think look at that price, which you're not going to get an average Joe to go buy a Snap-on toolbox anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And there is good options out there. There absolutely is. I am not too keen. My biggest problem with the Icon is the one guy in the shop bought an Icon. He got a hutch on it. He's pretty much got the same toolbox you do, but just like you said, the drawer pulls, his are hanging up, and every time I get in that thing, I'm like,
you can adjust them.
Huh?
You can adjust them. They have 6 adjustments.
Yeah.
So what you have to do is when the drawer has a ton of weight, you make them a little tighter. When the drawer doesn't have much weight, you make them lighter.
So
that's a feel thing, and it takes a lot of tweaking. And
yeah,
I'd rather have a catch lever handle.
Well, that's the upside of having a nicer toolbox. Be honest with you, which I don't think the Epic is all it is cracked up to be always. But I mean, it's nice. Those latches are nice, but the boxes kind of rattle. We used to make fun of the Snap-on boxes, the old ones with the lock and rolls, because they sound like freight trains. Guys in diesel shops hated them. They're going across the shop because they park their boxes and move them, and they go through casters like crazy. You wouldn't believe it, but those guys.
Yeah, my friend's Epic that had put a locker on it and the right side sagged.
Yep. When you're moving them all the time, you can really find out the weak. I'll tell you this much: if you're in a diesel shop and you're moving your toolbox, you're not going to want to buy anything cheap. I will promise you that, because
I know the Icon casters are pretty good though. Yeah, I haven't had one collapse or anything. No trouble. I've moved it a few times, but I do not roll it around everywhere.
Yeah, that's what I mean though. When it's stationary, it's a big difference when you're rolling them around. Because trust me, as a Mac dealer, I sold a lot of maximizers in truck shops. I sold like probably 40 maximizers in 1 year, toolboxes, and I replaced casters on those within 2 years after selling them. And Mac casters are really nice too. In fact, they're probably one of the best. They're right there with Snap-on, I know for a fact, because they're made in Canada. That's how they get the global materials with them. And they put a shit ton. They're considered to be equal to running train wheels because they're guaranteed that. I mean, each one of those casters is supposed to take like 1,500 pounds. Yeah. They're just and the springs and everything. So
I never put casters on a toolbox, but I've put them on carts. I move my carts around a lot more.
Oh, you want me to change casters? Let me know. I'll come down. I'll bet you I'm fast. I can get down there and change those casters. Believe it or not, I've done enough casters that I'm a professional at doing caster changes.
I got a big enough tool cart that I just move that around instead of my toolbox. I throw everything I think I might need that's not already in it, and I head over to the vehicle I'm working on.
Well, that's what a lot of guys in diesel shops have done now too. Is they start using carts, but then the cart casters go bad. So it doesn't matter, and especially where you get a floor. You know how the floors are pitted. I don't know if your shop has got some of that. Where
it's in pretty good shape, but I have worked in some rough ones.
Yeah, and that's what
the cart just bounces the whole.
If you go back and look, there's a video that Snap-on did where they have a testing facility. I've seen it in Algona. I've snuck in there a couple times. My family works at the Algona plant, so that's the other thing is it's really hard for me to knock on Snap-on because I know the people that work in some of the factories, and I know how much they care about their job and how much they enjoy it. They're always scared because they're like, these toolboxes are so expensive. And some of them, there's been guys that have been in here, and I've got a couple guys that are ex-employees of Snap-on, and they said we used to run jokes all the time that we can't even afford to buy the tools that we make. But they all stand behind it, whether they work there or not, that the quality and the time and effort that they put into those tools is top notch, and they like working for Snap-on. That's the other thing. I've never heard a single employee that's worked for Snap-on complain. I swear to God, they treat them very well, and they all like it. The Algona plant here, those guys are very happy people. I kid you not.
That's good to know. I know the dealers, that's not always the case, but
no. Well, they screw their dealers over too. They send them out shit. So my Snap-on dealer is one of the top dealers. And when the 100th anniversary series toolboxes came out, they sent him 3 of each one. and didn't ask him. They just send them to him. They say, "Here, that's." And so, could you imagine if you're a dealer? So, like a first year dealer, and they just send you
Here,
out.
sell these.
Yeah, and you didn't want it. You don't. They don't. You know what Snap-on says? It's not. The Snap-on has the mentality that, and Mac's no different. Don't trust me. When I went to the Mac program, you can only imagine the kind of shit that I said. They were like, "Oh, you need to tote and promote, and carry in this little sack," and I said, "Yeah, I'm going to be the guy that I made fun of for 10 years. You're full of shit. It ain't happening in my
I'm gonna
walk."
pull in the parking lot and beep the horn.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, dude, my job is to get these guys on the truck, okay, and then let them know about tools. I ain't carrying in. Now, I will be honest with you. I used to carry something in every once in a while. Like I carried in pocket knives.
Flyers.
Yeah, flyers. I carry in one thing, and I just kind of dink around with it. Or I'd carry something in and like see somebody working, be like, hey, let me help you. I always loved helping guys. I was a
You spot a new guy in the shop or something.
Yeah, I was always, you know, I mean, I was a different breed of tool dealer. You know, that's the thing about it is, I mean, I'm a different kind of cat anyways, altogether. But I like to just jump in and help somebody out if they're working on something. And I knew, like, I see somebody using the Mac Mentor scan tool. I'd be like, hey, what you doing? He's like, oh, this goddamn thing ain't doing nothing, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, let me take a look at it. I get in there and, you know, help them do some diagnosing with it. You know, I'm like, hey, this thing's, you know, I mean, it's not that bad. It's just a little slow, which that scan tool was pretty primitive compared to the stuff they got out now. But, you know, I mean, that was my thing. That was my edge.
Yeah.
Really. That was my edge. Is when you help a guy and you're a tool dealer,
That's big.
tools come off your truck like panties come off a stripper. I mean,
Yep. It makes a big difference when you're willing to put in a little extra effort and that guy's going to realize it.
yeah. And that's what it takes to be a good tool dealer. Honestly, I mean, you really have to step up your game. I mean, as far as everything you do, you have to go put yourself, give 110% if you want to be a successful tool dealer.
My new Mac guy is pretty good.
What's that?
My new Mac guy is pretty good.
He's fired up, probably, huh?
My first time on the truck, he gave me a Mac shirt.
Yeah.
Last week, I went on and gave me a Mac hat. I made a little video about it.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
He's giving me stuff, so I ordered.
I did see that video about the Mac hat. I watched the majority of your video. I've been watching all your 62 stuff. I don't know that I comment on them. I watch you do your whole entire bed repair. I watch almost everything you do on your 62. Cool. I watch the tools and your 62. I'll be honest with you, I don't watch a bunch of your repair stuff because I do enough of that anyways. I'm not a big fan of watching repair videos. You know what I mean? I don't know if you watch, if there's something that interests me that comes up. But I mean, I don't specifically go look for repair videos. I watch Eric O every once in a while if it looks like something's interesting in the title. But I mean, I'm not going to watch brake jobs all day. You know what I mean? I've done a million of them. I don't need to see.
Every time I video one, I'm like, should I even be filming this?
I mean, dude, people eat that shit up though.
Some people like it, so I keep doing it.
You can look at those brake job videos. They're crazy big, and it's like I can't believe people watch this same video over and over and over.
Honestly, you know? I think there's just nothing good on TV anymore.
So
people put on YouTube and find some stuff to watch and entertain themselves.
Oh, there's great content on YouTube. I mean, I've always floated. I don't watch TV at all. Dude, I don't have a TV anymore in my house, period. I have a tablet and my phone. That is no joke. For real, 100% serious. My TV broke 6 months ago, and I've never replaced it because I never watched it.
Yeah.
And I'm on the go, and I'm either in the shop or somewhere else, you know?
Yeah.
But, nonetheless, well, I appreciate you answering that question about the icon. It's been really fun having you on. There's a lot of, I know there's more stuff I wanted to ask you, but man, really eye-opening having you on here. I think I didn't really know you as well enough before. You know, I didn't give you enough of the benefit of the doubt before. And obviously getting screwed over by Snap-on was definitely a huge deal, but I think me and you have a lot more in common than I really realized.
Oh yeah.
You know, yeah.
Both hard working, trying to make things happen, you know?
Yeah. I'm not out to shame people. I was kind of a dick when I first started YouTube, not gonna lie. When I
subscribed to your channel, you had like 4,500 subscribers or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. About 2 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
Year and a half, something like that.
Well, you've been on YouTube for a while. You had a bunch of weightlifting stuff and motorcycle stuff and PLR stuff, and your channel was
I had 31 subscribers a year and a half ago.
Oh, no kidding! You only have 31, and now you're up to what, 8,000?
No, it's just 7,600.
Yeah, you'll get there. Well, you've got a lot more content. Jimmy's the alignment king in Florida.
Cirque's always on there supporting.
Yeah.
So is Bill. A lot of these guys.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, dude,
There's
I
a
will
lot of
say,
good people on YouTube. That's what motivates me. You know, that sometimes we focus on the assholes here and there.
yeah.
But the good people on here, those are the ones that make me do it. You know.
Well, and I said that too the other day. I said I got to stop focusing. When two people piss me off, and there's 100 people in my comment section,
That
I
are
need to
awesome.
focus more on those. And Nick Pixel said that to me before 100 times. I mean, he's Buck and Billy Ray says that. Buck and Billy Ray says that a billion times too. I mean, you really, and it really is like you can't let those negative people.
If you watch Think Media, you ever watch Think Media?
A little bit, yeah.
He says all the time. They say, "What do you do with the trolls?" He goes, "Never feed the trolls."
Yep.
So my new thing now is when they come on being jerks, I just go, "Thanks for watching," no matter what they say. Thanks for watching.
I'm my problem is when I comment, I don't ever say like I'm a lot different coming off, I think, than when I comment. Sometimes when I comment, it almost sounds like I'm being an asshole.
Yeah.
And I've gotten into trouble with that because I'm kind of a smartass and I just kind of say something to be funny and I don't think about it. And then
Yes.
next thing you know,
super sarcastic too, so I feel your pain. Thanks,
yeah.
Turbo.
Yeah, Turbo Tai sub.
Appreciate that.
I'm sure a lot of guys will sub after watching this video because you're
I'm
cool.
not sure if I got Stephen Lett's Performance and Steve Areno sub. I don't think I've subbed those guys. I want to see some links to sub those guys too.
Stephen Letts is just getting back into the game here, probably, huh?
Yeah, I've been out for a while between shoulder surgery, thumb surgery, and I just got in a motorcycle accident about a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, you had the cane there?
Yeah. Yep.
Gotta,
Yeah. Messed up my knee pretty good.
thanks for watching. That's Jimmy's signature. Thanks. Yeah.
He's like, oh man, he said that to me.
Yeah. Stephen Letts, he has a wild channel that he was actually you were a restoration type guy. You did a lot of work on old cars and body work and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yep. I did a lot of the pro touring cars.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so we did a lot of pro touring. We also did a lot of restorations, a lot of the older stuff, GTOs, the F bodies, all that type of stuff. And
too bad you're not in Central Florida if you're good with rust.
Yeah. You get bad for business.
My 62's got some rust.
Yeah.
I didn't see as bad in rust as I
What do you see? You'll see tomorrow's video. I show more of the rust.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, it's
You're
pretty
getting
bad.
along on that thing. I'm jealous. You're getting along on that thing way
I'll
better.
put it to you this way: I look for cabs online. I can't find a rust-free cab.
Oh, they're
all about the same. So
yeah.
that's what I got.
Well, you're probably looking at where the at the front of the cab where the water comes down and the fenders on every one of them.
Well, in mine, the roof gutter rusted out all the way around the outside, and they just kept driving it that way.
Yep.
So it rusted out the front cowl,
the
floors, the A pillars, the B pillars.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. It's bad.
Mine were pretty solid.
I cut the roof. The video tomorrow, I cut the whole roof off the truck.
Oh no! What? Dude, you are wild.
So I'm gonna fix it from the inside out, and then when I'm all done fixing the A pillars and the above the doors, then I'm gonna put a new roof back on it. So.
You're going full show quality on this, huh?
Well, it's gonna be a patina truck, but I don't want rot holes in it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna clean it up, straighten it up, get the gaps right, and leave the patina.
Dude, that's I'm my man, your videos should be getting killer views, to be honest with you.
My worst performing videos are the project truck.
I know, but you know what though?
I love doing it. So
yeah, I love watching those videos. I'll be honest. I mean, obviously because it's different for me as a mechanic. You know, as I don't, like I said, I don't like working on cars. You know, I mean, that's my job. My hobby is wanting to do that, working on the trucks and watching you do that. I liked watching you put the wood bed in. I was kind of curious why they did that with the wood bed with your gas tank. That was an interesting deal, but you made it out to look good at the end of it. But then I think like what you
thinking of putting a door or cover or something on.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it yet, but
yeah,
it looks okay for now.
how much? Don't let me. I'm going to get off on a tangent here because I love talking about these trucks, but I never get anybody that I can talk to about it. But how much was your bed for that thing?
The wood was like $425.
Oh no
but
shit.
It didn't have the holes drilled. I had to drill the holes myself.
Okay, yeah, that's
It
kind of
wasn't hard. You got to put all the wood in, mark all the holes,
right.
take all the perimeter wood back out and drill it. And
yeah, I watched. Well, you didn't show a lot of the drilling, but I know that you were talking about it, and I wasn't sure exactly what was going on there. But
it's a little bit tedious. It's probably one of the hardest things I've done on a truck so far is put the wood in.
Yeah, it didn't look like as fun as I thought it would.
Until I cut the roof off, it was.
Well, I got to put a wood bed in mine, and my biggest problem is I want to put like the gray wood that was in it. So I don't know what I'm going to do.
It comes with almost like a black stain, which there's a good video from Chip Foose. He does one, and he oils his instead of clearing it, which I think is probably better if you're actually going to use the truck.
Yep.
So he does this. He thins black paint and rubs that on the wood, and it shows the wood grain real nice. And then he oils it when he's done. So look for Chip Foose's video on that.
I will.
He built a truck called the C28. It's actually really cool.
I don't know that mine's going to be to the level that yours is going to, because mine's going to be a daily driver.
I'm not painting it. I plan on painting the roof once I put the new roof skin on.
And
I'm going to paint that almond color.
Okay.
And I'll probably repaint the dash and make the interior real nice. But the outside of the truck, I'm going to just spray can the edges and do some airbrushing and leave the patina on it, make it look tough. So I don't want to have to worry about every little chip and ding. I plan on driving it and enjoying it. You know?
Yeah, I like patina trucks too. I don't know. People and you know what? I'm on a C10 forum, and I got into it with a guy. He's like, dude, why does everybody get a patina C10 and then put wheels on it and think they've got? Dude, I think it's totally cool. And second of all, what the frick does it matter what anybody does? Like, why are you worrying about what somebody else does?
Yeah, Mike, do what you want with your truck. Leave them alone.
Yeah, I just don't understand these people. They run their mouths, but I'm like, dude, what is wrong with the guy that wants to go? Dude, the fact that he's driving an old truck is awesome. Like, let alone, like, I don't give a rat ass, but it's always these guys. I don't understand it. I feel your pain finding all the rot, Jimmy. Oh, yeah. Here we go. That guy right here. I'm gonna block you. Fake patina is kind of lame.
Mine's real patina.
Yeah, mine's real patina too. Well, fake patina is. Yeah, no, you're right. I didn't mean to.
The only thing I'm gonna fake patina is when I do like the patch panels on the bottom of the doors and stuff.
Yeah.
But the rest of the truck's gonna be all.
Well, what are you gonna do when you got to fix that stuff? You ain't got no choice but to put fake patina.
Yeah,
you know, kind of thing. And fake patina is kind of lame at that. I agree with that, Big Muffin. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sound like I was being a jerk there, but I thought. I like trucks that come. I'm kidding, Big Muffin. Sorry, I was quick to mess with you, but I like the trucks that come right out of the field, and then like seeing guys that are driving them. That's all they're doing. You know, I mean, I think if we did that, how many of these cars and trucks could we get out of the field and put new engines in them, make the drivetrain perfect, and drive them? And how awesome would that be? Yeah. And people wouldn't be spending $80,000. My truck on mine is a 3/4 ton. And the payload capacity of that is more than what a new 3/4 ton is.
Yeah,
that's crazy. And I have 4-link suspension on it right from the factory.
Yep. I'm hoping to have this truck done and have less than 20 grand in it when it's done. So,
dude, how can you beat that? And guess what? Any guy that drives up with a 2022 Dodge, Chevy, Toyota, I don't give a shit, at the fuel pump, you can pull up right next to him, and there's going to be 9 times the amount of people looking at your truck.
Yep.
And that's exactly why I think that people why would you put your money into buying this new shit? I just don't understand. Like, I mean, granted, if people start doing this, I'd drive the price up, because the minute anything starts going trendy, you know what it does, and then we wouldn't be able to find parts. This is what happened to me back when in the late 90s, early 2000s. I couldn't afford a car back then because which was only $5-6 grand for good cars, but that was a lot of money back then. For me, I was young and I couldn't afford it, and you know it is what it is. But parts.
My first car was $125. I bought a '68 Firebird convertible.
Oh yeah, those are the good old days. My dad used to.
I'm old. So
you're not. How old are you?
59.
Oh, you're 59. Wow, I was going to say you were 53.
I'll be 60 next July. So
Wow. You are about ready to retire.
I'm an old bag. I got about 8 years left in me, I think.
Oh, you're going to do 8 more?
I
Wrenching?
think so. We'll see. Yeah. They keep trying to, they keep asking me, they said, you're not going to leave when you're ready to retire. You're going to become a service writer or something, right? I'm like, what?
Yeah. Let me ask you this question, since this is one I meant to ask you. All this time you've been working on cars, why not open your own shop?
I had my own shop for a little while, but I made the mistake of having a partner.
There you go.
And I learned the hard way that that's not a good idea.
Mhm.
So I managed to avoid going bankrupt, but I had a lot of debt to pay off to do that. And I didn't want creditors coming after me and dings on my credit forever. So I did what I saw as the right thing to pay it all off.
Yeah.
Even though I got taken, and I basically emptied out my 401k to buy into the shop to be a partner. So now I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm just working for somebody else. And I am thinking about it again, but I just don't know if it's ever going to, I'm getting older now. So I don't know if it's ever going to happen again.
I'm
happy where I'm at. So,
Yep. What's up, Budget Mechanic Wrenching? I definitely can feel your pain on that. I had a partner when I became a Mac dealer, and guy talked me into doing it. It was another Mac dealer. He talked me into doing it, and then he wouldn't let go of me. You know what I mean? Like that's what ultimately was one of the things that took me out from being into being a Mac dealer, is because I was not going to keep giving him 15% of my earnings for nothing. I was doing paying for all the insurance, the fuel, doing all the legwork, and all he was doing was mailing stuff out for me.
Yeah, that's the problem.
For 15% of my profits.
For partnership to work, you got to both be on the same page when it's good and when it's bad. So, when you're willing to work Saturdays and your partner's not willing to work on a Saturday, and you both own the business,
I just wanted to buy the business outright. That's all I wanted to do.
If I ever did it again,
sell it.
Yeah, if I ever did it again, it'd be me, and my wife would do the bookkeeping, and I'd hire some people to work for me. I wouldn't have any partners.
That's why I've done what I've done now, is because that's what I want to do it right. Yeah. So if I'm going to open, and I've got a deal coming up, which I'm not going to talk about because talking about it doesn't do anything. It's more about doing it first. But I want to do it right. I want to build my shop the right way. So I'm trying to put in all the capital I can into saving for that.
You're young enough now that if you did things right and you tried to get something going 5 years from now, let's say, you could have it up and running. And when you get to my age where your bones are weary and you can't do it anymore, you just have people working for you and you just run the place from an administration standpoint. It's a lot easier in your older years if you're doing it that way.
Well, I don't want to do it that's the sad part, is I'm too stupid to do that, Jimmy. I should be doing it from administration, but my problem is I still want to work.
Yeah. You can do it, but it'd be at your discretion.
Right. Yeah. And I kind of want to do that, but yeah, I want to get to the point to where I can go out in the shop and work on this and that, and then, go back to my other stuff. But I know guys would do that, and they'll tell you the same thing like you just said. You just need to stick to administration and not get involved in the shop, because it easily becomes a competition with you and your employees. Once you start working with them, which if I have the right employees, I think it's all right. I remember several shops that I went to as a Mac dealer where the boss used to work in the shop.
Yeah.
And then his wife and his daughter ran the front, and then he did a lot of stuff talking, but he floated around.
Yeah. That's what the shop I started at.
Yeah.
The owner worked in the shop.
Yeah. I've always admired that. And I always never was the type of guy. I never got really too many leadership roles where I was a manager or anything, because every time they would say, if you want to be a manager, you can't be sitting there working side by side with your guys. And I just don't understand that.
Yeah.
I think that's what this country was built on. And I just don't get it. I don't get why
you get more respect when you're in there working in the trenches with the guys and problem solving with the guys. Yep. And then they see when they're leaving, you're going in to do the paperwork, you're still going to be there. So they have a lot of respect because they know you're busting your ass.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing is, I couldn't wear bib overalls anymore everywhere I worked. And that was the other reason why I wanted to work for myself.
You walk in with the briefcase, you go through the shop and say, hey guys, go in the office all day. And then you go see you guys and leave.
Yeah, I
They
don't
have
like.
any respect for you. They just know
No.
you're the boss.
Well, and that's the thing is I've seen many of those shops do that, and there's always anarchy in the shop when you see guys do that. You know, be like, oh, that prick. I remember the guy I worked for Amico. That's how his son and him both did that, and they would come down, and we would know when he was coming downstairs. 3:30, he was coming downstairs. You could hear him walking down the stairs because they had an office above the shop, and we'd be like, oh, here comes Jim, and then we'd all be like, hey, Jim, how you doing? you know, he wasn't a terrible boss. He just always asked us to do stupid things.
Yeah.
You know, I would be working on a car and we'd have to drop everything to do stupid things. And that was the most annoying thing ever. I'm there to do a job. I'm not there to, cater to your son or wife or, take care of the store up front.
Pick up your lunch.
Yeah. It got to be a really, really stupid deal. But anyway, and when you said another quick question, what was your first job? Where was you working at? Was it in a small mechanic shop, 2-bay shop?
Yeah. It was a little 2-bay shop with gas pumps, and he hired me to pump the gas and help out with light jobs.
Yeah.
And I worked there probably 5 or 6 months, and because I was doing engines and stuff on the side while I was pumping gas, he finally put this guy, Billy, was a mechanic. He put him out at the gas pumps and put me in his bay.
That's
after
awesome.
like 6 months.
That's
I felt kind of bad for the guy, Billy. He was a super nice guy, but he was pretty slow. He's the kind of guy that would close the hood 3 times and go around pulling on it 3-4 times, make sure it was closed, real nervous.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I got his bay. He went out pumping the gas, and that's it.
Dude, shop personalities. Man, you just got me thinking about all this stuff. I remember this guy named Benny. He was like that. Which he didn't pull on the deal, but he was so slow. We made a joke that we could set road codes up around him before he'd ever make it to the door. But he was a good old boy. But that's the thing is too about the shop life. That's some of my best memories though, is working with guys like that. Even everybody had their own personality, and you always had the guy that threw the wrenches all the time.
Yeah.
The hothead mechanic, and then you had the guy that was like the guy that wanted to be the best, but he was always caught getting himself into trouble.
Yeah.
And then we had Torticus Maximus. That was Kurt. That was our guru guy, and dude, oh my God, that guy knew everything about electrical. Okay, and he always wanted to be an airplane mechanic, and that's all he ever talked about. But he worked on cars, and he'd sit there and smoke cigarettes. And he'd be like, yeah, oh yeah, we're gonna go through here, and we're gonna test this, and we're gonna get out the sun machine, and we're gonna check for the shorts. He would get out that great big sun machine every single time to diagnose a misfire. Dude, I mean, he had 4 fluke meters, and he'd be like, fluke's the best. I mean, he was the guy that literally convinced me that fluke was worth nothing else. I'll be honest with you, but he was goofy as hell. He flew kites on the weekend. Flew kites, if that tells you anything. He flew kites. He had a set of Onkyo stereo speakers from 1970s that he said they're better than anything new. That was in the late 90s. He's talking about this, but I had to work with him every Sunday morning, hungover, and I would be sweating Bud Light out. And when I first started working, because I was I was 21, going to school and everything. So, but yeah, dude, top personalities.
This guy Billy is the guy that taught me how to diagnose misfires with a test light.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So he's going around all the wires with it on ground, obviously, and he's like, "Oh, there it is." I was like, "Whoa!" I was 18 years old.
Well, that's what I would always ask Kurt about that. He's like, "You're cutting corners. You're cutting corners. That's not how you properly test things." That's how the type of guy he was. He ingrained that into me. Like, and here's another thing is, I don't know if you went to school, but I went to school. Did you go to tech school at all?
No.
Okay. So
I went to school of hard knocks.
Yeah, that's exactly. And I'll be honest with you, the 2 years that I spent at tech school, I used very little of what I learned as actually working on cars. That brings me to another kind of semi point is in the automotive industry, I don't think schooling, which I know there's not a lot of people going to schooling, but it's kind of like ASC certification. I have mixed feelings about it, because do I think kids should go to school? Yeah, you get the discounts on buying tools, which is nice. And there's a few nice things that you'd learn There's some fuel system stuff and fuel management stuff that I learned. AC, I learned a lot in my AC and electrical from school. I will say that doing load testing or short finding and stuff like that.
I recommend the college courses to people, like electrical courses in college and stuff. If you know basic electrical, you can fix almost anything. Everything else is mechanical. You can figure out a little easier.
Yeah.
Programming, electrical, stuff like that.
Yep. I'll be honest with you. I'm not near as good at changing parts as I am doing electrical.
Yeah.
More. I mean, that's kind of my thing. Is that's what I've migrated to more now, because that's what I can do. I mean, that's easier for me to do, and I'm better suited for it. I'm not the greatest diagnostician. I still do old school stuff. I mean, like, I'm the type of guy that still will take a wiring harness apart at both ends and run power to it, and just see if I'm not getting power to the end, then I know I got a bad wire. It's pretty simple. But a lot of guys use lab scopes and whatnot, and they can get away with testing. I have done a little bit of lab scope testing, but I can find a lot of problems in cars because I have that, just that knack that I started doing. There wasn't, and here's another question. In that time frame between the 2000s and now, cars have changed drastically. Would you not agree?
Mm-hmm. Oh, they've gotten way more advanced, but I think at the same time, some of it's gotten easier because the computer helps you diagnose things. The computer can give you circuit codes.
Yep.
So it kind of helps you.
Yeah.
Even though there's way more stuff to fix, but you have to have tunnel vision and focus on that area you're looking at. Don't worry about the rest of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely agree with that. There's times where there's certain times that are better than others, but there's also times when of course I always get the worst jobs because that's what I do. Doing some key programs on some oddball stuff. I had a Mercedes that kicked my ass. I thought I could program the key on it, and it was it was lack of my technology.
Yeah.
I didn't have the technology to do it, and I spent 2 hours on it and didn't get the job done, so I didn't get paid. I got my ass kicked, and that's just how it is. But
sometimes that happens.
Yeah, and once they started going to this stuff, but adding in these extra modules, HVAC stuff, and all this stuff, it's definitely become more. You have to definitely segregate out your system when you're using it. But if you don't have the right scan tools for it, that's also, or if you don't know how to read the scan tools, it definitely is more challenging.
That's one of the biggest things is figuring out what data to look at. Like if you have a certain problem, you've got to be able to scroll through, 80 or 100 lines of data and know, I need to look at my intake temperature, my coolant temperature, whatever lines because there's only really 6 or 8 of them that might matter for that problem.
Right.
So that's just experience,
Yeah. And that's what exactly. It seems not that simple for a lot of people, but it is a lot more simpler than like carburetors. I'll be honest with you. It's easier for me to diagnose a car with a fuel problem than it is a carburetor with a fuel problem.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't, I can change jets out, but you got to tear it apart and look into it. And I don't exactly, I can see something's plugged up, but a lot of these guys that were doing carburetors back in the day were so good at knowing that stuff. They're like, oh, it didn't need to be in 3 turns on the screw.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't do
turn and a half out.
Yeah.
Almost every carburetor on earth.
Yeah. Well, you kind of had the best of both worlds. How did you adapt with the changing? How did you adapt? Did you do a lot?
I was excited about it with the technology, but my boss wasn't. Like when HEI ignition was getting pretty prevalent, they would come in our shop when they were 6, 7 years old. My boss wanted to take them out and put points distributors in because he didn't trust HEI. What? He thought it was like black magic. And when he said when they were starting to put computers in Cadillacs, he was like, "There's no way a computer's going to live in an environment in the weather." And that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. It's never going to work. But some people don't embrace new things. That's why people are freaking out about electric cars. I'm like, don't worry, there's going to be plenty of stuff to fix.
Yeah.
You might have to know more about electronics.
Yep.
I would say the 90s cars were probably my best, were probably where I gained a lot of my knowledge because I had to basically learn how to do diagnostics right out from when they were prevalent, mid 80s they started, which they had some computer controlled stuff on early 80s, but I mean, you went through the worst 2 decades of
That was
probably
pretty bad.
automotive change in the world.
Yeah.
Historically.
85 to 95 was probably the worst because every car had 35 vacuum hoses on it, you know?
Yep.
I mean, I remember I did a carburetor on a Honda one time in like 93 or 4, and it was like this nest of vacuum hoses. I'm like, how am I going to remember where to put those? Then I realized masking tape. I could actually tape the hoses in place and pull them all off and keep them in order or label them independently. It wasn't so once I realized there was a solution to the problem, it wasn't so overwhelming just because you have to have some kind of plan. And that doesn't matter if it's vacuum lines, electrical wiring, anything. You just have to have some kind of plan before you dig in. Nowadays, we have the luxury of a cell phone. You take a picture.
Yeah. That's the other thing, too. Is people don't utilize the technology they have, I notice, most of the time. I'll be honest with you. When I get to go into a shop and somebody calls me and say, hey, we need you to come help us, I'm like, if you would have just Googled this, you would have been able to fix this right there. And I found that there's some lazy people, which is not surprising. I will be honest with you. I would say about 25% of how I make money is pretty much just off ignorance alone.
Yeah. Someone just didn't want to deal with it or didn't have it, got overwhelmed and they gave up, you know?
Dude, I walked into a shop before and a guy had a bad relay. I walked in a fuse. I walked in several times with fuses. One guy had an ABS module that he's like, I can't figure out this thing. It's not reading to the computer, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, you check power ground? Yeah, I checked power ground. What do you think I am, an amateur? I walked right up to the fuse box, looked in there, found the fuse for it, and it was blown. And I was like, that'll be $125. I was like, you want me to tell you the boss or should I?
Or how many no starts do you have that got no gas in the car?
Yeah, that's happens too.
I've had one. Yeah,
I've seen missing fuses.
Yep, missing fuses. Yep.
I've had cars come in not starting. They pull the fuse out because their cigarette lighter stopped working.
Yeah.
And then they don't put it together that the car doesn't run anymore because of that. So they tow it in. And they don't tell you they pulled the fuse out. So if you just check all the existing fuses, you move past it without knowing the fuse location.
Yep.
What do you charge a customer when something like that happens? Because people will say that you're robbing a customer, and I say if they're in there to do a job and you diagnose it, it's an hour minimum.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
care.
1 hour minimum, unless it's something really. If I go in here in 3 minutes, I figure something out. Then our absolute minimum shop charge is half an hour for bringing the car in to look at.
Yeah.
So we tell them up front it's an hour. And I've had vehicles I fix them in 3 or 4 minutes. I just charge them a half hour. So.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of the business. I mean, and people will say you're screwing over a customer, but the reality of it is, I mean, at what point our mechanic's not going to get hounded for something? That's what they've been doing for years, is blaming us for what shop owners do. Okay, if it was me and I was personally me working on your car, you could pay me my $35 and I would be done. But you have to pay the shop owner because he has lights to pay for, and I mean that's the reality of life there. You know, that's how it works.
People have overhead. That's how it works.
And so many people get upset about that, but
the rent at our shop is $6,000 a month.
Yeah, people don't understand. I mean, I had a buddy that has a shop, and he literally was just letting people run him over, and he's a good guy. And I went in there. It was just him and his son working there. And he's like, people were beating him up. And I was like, listen, I was like, Dale, I was like, I love you, man, but I got to tell you, you can't continue to let these people. He would always complain about how, man, I need you to come help me. And he was always crying to me and want me to bail him out. And I said, Dale, the problem isn't, it's not your customers, it's you. I go, if you cut a customer a deal every time, they're going to come back and expect less from you. And I said, you know what I don't do to my friends? I don't ask my friend for a discount because I trust what they're doing is the best. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to give them a deal. If these people really cared about your business, they would pay you for what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I said, you cannot cut deals to people because they're only going to continue to use you for that. And he had a guy that came in and ripped him off, begged him, told him his girlfriend was pregnant, blah, 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 gave him a sob story, ripped him off for $2,200. You know, I mean, it was just constant with him. And he finally got himself straightened out now. But and you probably don't deal with that at your shop, do you? At all, Jimmy? You don't.
No, I mean, I had a guy today. He had I think it was a Chevy Equinox, and he said, "I'm overheating. Can you come take a look at it real quick?" I said, "That's not how it works. You have to go to the front office." He's like, "Well, they want me to make an appointment." He goes, "That's overheating." I said, "Well, we'll work you in today, but you have to go up there and fill out the paperwork. I'll have to make sure we get you in the shop today." He goes, "Well, I can't wait. Can you do it right now?" I'm like, "You have to go up front." So he finally let his car cool off a little while and left.
Law and order. Law and order. That's what I always call it. I'm like, law and order. I mean, it's the only way to make sure people don't disrespect you and you don't come into a falling out. Yeah. Is end it before it starts. I've been in too many arguments. When I worked at the Amico station, I'll be honest with you, I probably worked in the worst spot in the entire city. I worked in between two bars and the interstate. And I worked nights, keep in mind. I worked 3 to 11. So what do you think the kind of traffic that I got in there all the time?
Yeah.
I beat the shit out of 6 customers. I mean, I'm not talking like we just got into a little tiff and the cops come. I'm saying I beat the shit out of 6 customers. One guy came in drunk from the bar. He come over there and he said, "You overcharged me." And he took a swing at me. And I just dusted him right in the shop. I cleaned his clock right in the shop. I was like, "Douche, douche," and knocked him right out in the shop. He was laying there. And the cop came and they go, "What happened?" And I go, "The guy came in the shop. I was standing there." And the guy came in the shop and he goes, "You overcharged me, you shiny son of a bitch," and run. And then he came back and he gave me this wild haymaker. And I was like, "Oh, hell, this ain't happening here right now."
Hey guys, the Fam Jam is home and ready for bed, so I am going to call it a night. Thanks for having me on, and I'll see you later.
Don't hog up this live stream next time, will you?
All right, fellas.
Good to talk to you, man.
How's the weather down there in Florida right now?
Your sideways picture and a regular one.
Yeah, I got to kick myself. My tablet died. Let me get myself here all taken up. Remove him from the stream.
Man, it's midnight over here.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that was one of my. I had a lot of bad stories from being in that shop of things happening that I didn't want to have happen. Yeah. Who did we get here? Did we lose somebody?
Steve.
Yeah, Steve Areno bailed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess we better start wrapping it up.
He apologized for taking over the whole chat.
Yeah. Well, it was a fun time, and I could trade old war stories and whatnot all night long, obviously. But I think you answered a lot of my questions that I kind of was curious about. But it was good to hear you be able to chat in person, because I hate chatting in the comment box. When
it just
you're trying to have you have a good conversation with somebody. I respect you a lot more now than I did before, which I did respect you before. Keep in mind,
I tended to only stay on an hour, and I've been on 3, so that tells you something. I had a good time.
Well, I appreciate you doing that for me, Jimmy, because I know you're an hour ahead too, and I want everybody in the chat to show Jimmy a little appreciation and give him a subscribe, and the other fellows, Raging Cajun Garage and Stephen Letts and Tool Demos. Give them guys a follow and show them some love, and let them know that CP, you found them on CP stream. So we always like to do. Chef Shade Tree's in the house. Sorry, I didn't see it, and I apologize to you guys that I didn't get to didn't chat with you guys that much tonight in the chat. I hope you understand. I appreciate you guys.
Ourselves.
What's that?
We were too chatty ourselves.
Well, I can't operate on the chat and having conversations, because I'm one track focused, I'm not able to multitask like that. And
I feel your pain.
I liked it. I was watching the chat and looking at you guys, and I seen you guys had some questions, and I tried to answer a few of them in there. I don't ever want want you guys to not know that, or I want you guys to know that I pay attention to that.
Next time I come on, we'll focus all on the comments and answering questions.
Yeah, that's what we should do. Yeah, absolutely. That'd be great to have him come on. And I like listening to the guys' comments or questions, because I just hadn't had you on before, and it's definitely makes it nicer when you come on and we have a full comment section.
Yep.
and we can get people asking questions because it's really cool. Then it really
Some
does.
of them guys are funny as hell too. So.
Oh yeah, dude, these are great guys in here. I don't have everybody that's in my chat right now are great people. They've always been great people. Some of these guys have been here for a long, long, long time. I mean, Turbo Ty's been around. We got Dancing Alone with Reynolds. We got Turtle Poop. Paul Mendenhall's been around for a while. Just going through a few. All my channel members have been in here for a long time. Checkmate 115 has been with me for a long time. Craig Gelato has been around here for a while now. M. Lizer, all these guys. Bill Beckett is a veteran. There's guys that are veterans. I wish I could give deals in here to people, but Bill Beckett is definitely a veteran. Quick Wrench has been around for a long time now too. But some of these guys have been with me for all 3 years, which is, I don't forget people that have been around for a long time. Peter Savinsky's been around a long time here too.
A lot of these names are burned into my memory.
Yeah, well, when they've completely, and I know M. Lizer probably watched your videos. Biggie Fitz, I even know where these. I remember where these guys live. I've been doing these Friday live streams for 3 years straight, religiously, and it's just, it's a good community, good people. Awesome. Yeah, I like it, and they're always supportive and they're always positive. I can't thank them enough. I can't thank you guys enough for coming on tonight, and that's all I ever want. I'm not perfect by any means, but it's fun having a group of people
man, you got a good heart. That's all that really matters. Everything else falls into place.
Yeah, I get a little bit off camera sometimes.
Yeah,
you got to watch it.
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not perfect. If I was, I'd be a model. I'm far from that. So, but Jimmy's a legend. Thank you guys. Thanks, Carlos, for the sub. We got legend. All right, I'm a badass diagnostic, but my Fox body is kicking my ass. Well,
if you've got any questions, send them our way.
Yeah. We should have questions. It would have been cool to see if we could diagnose somebody's car. I'd like to do that some night on live. See if we could help fix somebody's problem. It's really hard. One last thing, I don't want to ramble on. One last thing. The worst thing I get is when somebody asks a car question. I will say this. I hate answering questions for people when they say, "Hey, I got this problem with my car." How do you feel? Yeah, it is. It's really hard because I want to know so many specifics, and it's like extremely hard. And also, I didn't get to show it. Better. I've got a ton of new Lyle tools. Lyle had a complete saturation, which I did a video, but Lyle had a complete saturation of tools that came out. Which I don't know if you have any of these, Jimmy. That one was an older one, but it's an updated one now.
I have a similar tool to that. I'm not sure. I got to see what brand it is.
Stretch belt tool for the double EcoBoost and the GMs.
That's new. I don't have that.
How do you
buy more stuff, aren't you?
What's that?
You're making me into a tool addict little by little.
Well, Lyle's not there. These guys are basically a channel sponsor in some retrospect, so they send me this stuff because. But I worked on building this tool with Lyle. This is the prototype tool. Look at how primitive this is. This is the kind of stuff that I get. So this is a homemade load tester with a 12. So it's got this paper's coming off of it, but it's got a load tester.
Awesome
cut a deal in it, and then they made it a little 800 milliamp load tester.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's cool to get to deal. I get to do stuff with that. So eventually, I'd like to get more guys involved in that. You know what I mean? Sending out testing tools and get more mechanics that are on board with that, and that way we get better opinions and whatnot. That's what I keep telling all these tool companies. If they're willing to do that, and I can build a good group of guys to do that, that's the game plan. Is to get a good, like, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 guys where we can, send out prototype stuff and have everybody. Because if you get 20 or 30 guys that say, hey, this tool works great, but I want to do this, makes it so much better for the industry, in my opinion. Time and money well spent, in my opinion. So, and they'll tell you, Lyle's been doing this for years, because I've been doing it with Lyle for years. They'll tell you that this is the cheapest R&D that you can do on the planet.
Yep.
Like it just doing that stuff just helps out tremendously, so they don't have a bad tool that comes out when they let it go. So anyways, guys, I appreciate everybody in the chat. Appreciate you guys. I'm long-winded. Everybody, like I said, make sure you go over. If you aren't subscribed to Jimmy, Steven, or Raging Cajun, or Tool Demos, or Chat, Everyday Fleet Tech even has a channel. Sorry, I don't know if he's doing much, but make sure you guys,
awesome chat.
Yeah, make sure you guys at least let Jimmy know that you caught him on the live stream and enjoyed it. So, all right.
Hey, Jimmy, you gonna be
Check
at the
the fuel
summit?
regulators, guys, in the comments.
Yes, thank you, Tool Regulators. So,
See you guys.
see ya.
Uh,
That